Good afternoon. Hello. I'll letting everyone in. Nice to see you, Molly. Okay. I'm connecting with my own. Knit people. Here we go. And all right. So, okay. So let's see if people keep popping in. Meanwhile, let's head over to the chat and give me a little good morning there. Or good morning. Okay, deep into the afternoon. I know it is not good morning, but you know, a little aloha of some kind or another. So, I'm not very creative. I'm just saying hi there, but at least I'm saying it. And there we go. All right. So while we are finishing the setup, I want to let you know that today is our next to last class. And I think I had told you this week I'd be in Berkeley, but we're not going till this afternoon. So we'll be there late tonight. So, but next week, by next Wednesday, I should be back. So this class, I'll be teaching from here both times. People who are in my Thursdays and Fridays classes are going to end up, and Monday will be all in from there. So there's not that much disruption to us, but this is our next to last class. So next this week and next are the last two classes. And if you, while we're waiting, a couple more people are signing in right now. I see them coming in. Let me share really quickly my schedule for the fall, which I will, as soon as I get around to my brain, there's so much going on. I haven't sent an email yet to you guys, but here's the classes I'll be teaching in the fall. And if you ever guys want to find out what people's schedules are, if you go to your pipeline account, right, and you use that to go into your pipeline, let me just show you really quickly, and then you can review this, how to find out someone's schedule. So if you go over here to student, you have a choice here called class search. And then in the class search, this is the part that people get really confused by. You have to choose that we are non-credit, and then you have to hit select. Because if you don't hit select, then it's still going by non-credit. So now things have shifted. Now we truly are looking at the non-credit schedule. And here still it is hard to know what class is what. There's so many different things happening and where things are. So if you know a teacher, which you guys, by saying this, you already know me, you probably know a couple of other teachers, maybe Norma, maybe Bruce, you know, other people that teach the kind of stuff you're interested in, then you can go here and you actually put their name. So all you need to know is the beginning of my last name, right? So under instructor right here, I'll click my mouse in here and I'll write MUSA, right? And there we go. That's me. So once you do that and say search, there you go. That's all the classes that I'll be teaching in the fall. That said, this is not true. I usually teach more than this. It's just that it depends on how many classes canceled in credit. I end up adding one or two more, but that's the way to do it. So I'm going to do a little snippet of this and record that little bit so you guys know how to access the schedule. Now, say that what you wanted was to find out Norma's classes. So you go over here into the instructor and you should know her last name is Egley. Oh, sorry, I typed it wrong. Egg, it looks like there's another egg. So there's Egley, right? And then you say search, or Bruce, or whatever, you know. The problem is that it doesn't work for first names, okay? So you can't just write Diana and then it just goes to Diaz Sarah, so that doesn't work. So hopefully you remember the beginning of everyone that you know's last name, and that would work. Otherwise, if you don't know people's names and you just want to see and you write the name here, the problem is that unless you write it exactly right, it won't work, right? So say that you write here Mac, it's a Mac class that you want, and you do search, then that would still work. Mac level 1, Mac level 2. But did you see that it's not showing you the Mac level 3? So, introduction to the Mac. It only shows you introduction to the Mac OS level 1 and 2. Why? Because the first class is called Introduction to the Macintosh. Who calls these things Macintosh anymore? But it didn't come out because of that. See, because it's not Macintosh. And that's why this is a little bit of a, if you were to write Macintosh, like just even Macint, and you say search, there's no other thing that could be Macintosh, and yet it doesn't find it. You have to be exactly right. So if you go Macintosh now and you do a search, it'll find that class, Introduction to the Macintosh. See, so that's why putting in the class names is a little bit of a hit or miss. You have to be very precise. If you're looking for the iPhotos class or the Photos class, this one, you have to remember that it's living the iLife. Will you remember that? Yes. If you put iLife, it'll work. But if you put photos or iPhone or any, oh, look at that. iLife doesn't even work. Why? Because it's up iLife uppercase L. Would it work now? No, it didn't. Oh, because in the fall, it's not set up to be taught in the fall. That's why. This class right now is not set up to be taught in the class. If I have more space in my calendar, it'll be taught. So anyway, just be careful. If you happen to know what department they're in, you can go over here and see everything. Many of our classes under communication, comp apps for the workforce. That's what many of my classes are under. But then some of my Photoshop is under Math, some under GPC. So it's but the Math classes are under comp apps for the workforce prep. If you do that, you're going to come up with bazillions of classes, right? But in all those classes will be mine and Norma's and stuff like that. So that's just how to search. I think the best solution is to kind of know the last names of the teacher you like, and that's your better answers. All right, that was just to show you that. And now, yes, I'll answer questions, or if there's, I can put in CRNs here for what you need to sign up for. And one last thing about repeating classes or not. Computers update, computers change. You guys maybe took Introduction to the Mac, 2 years ago, and then suddenly you've upgraded your operating system and you need to know more. So it's not like these are really levels. It's just that here I teach you all about how to operate your computer in general. Here we talk about file management. Here we talk about the different apps and saving your, backing up your computer and stuff like that. So it's not like you need to take them in order. If you can't make that one, well, then sign up for this one. And then next session, you sign up for that one or that one. And then in general, you'll get all the information. All right. It looks like they're going to be Tuesday, Thursday morning. So kind of similar to what this time. So 9 to 12:15 a.m. Tuesday, Thursday morning.
I think you searched for the June class.
Oh, this is summer. Thank you. Fall. Okay. So it's still Thursday morning, which is interesting. Oh, thanks for showing me that. One more thing that's confusing, when you do search for the class, it shows you a ton of different things here. And you go, wait, isn't this just one class, Introduction to the Mac? In the fall, this will be a hybrid class, meaning I will teach not from here, my house. I'll be sitting in room number 3 at school. And people who want to come in person can come in person, and people who want to stay at home can stay at home. So you can sign out for the Wake to be in person, or for the online version of the same class. It has 2 different CRNs. That said, if you make a mistake because you thought you signed up to it, does not matter. Say you wanted to be online, but say you signed up to this one, well, then stay online. Say that you wanted to stay online and you prefer to be in person, then come to the classroom. They are indistinct. Just sign up for one of them and then do whatever you want. Come one day in person, come one day at home, right? For all of these. And that's why you see 2 with the same exact schedule, Tuesdays and Thursdays, from September 12th to November 28th, but there's 2 different. And the reason they're divided into lab, this is weird, lab, lecture. So basically it's from 9 to 12:15. Okay, that's it. And the same for all of them. It'll be 9 from 12:15 throughout all the way till November. Okay. That's to understand why you have these double things going on. And it's just because they're hybrid. All right. Mary.
Quick question, for the Adobe Photoshop class, do you have to purchase that software?
Great question. No, you don't. And if you do, I'll end up showing you the cheap student version, because if you try to purchase it on your own, just Photoshop would be $20 a month. But the Creative Cloud and the Bridge, other stuff that you need, will end up being about $50 a month. As a student from Adobe, you get their student price, which is then again $20 a month, which is still $240 a year. So as a City College student, I'll show you that you can buy it for $80 a year or $40 for 6 months. So you'll get an even better option if you want to buy it. And if you don't want to buy it, then you can use VDI, which is a system by which you can, through your browser, access the school computers and use the computers and not buy it at all. So there's all these options. So no, you don't need to own the project, the applications for any of these digital design, Illustrator, Photoshop, InDesign, for all of that. You don't need to own anything.
Right. And I have one more quick question. In this for the Photos app, are we going to talk about downloading photos from other parts of your computer again? Quick question about that.
Downloading from your computer? No, you mean importing them into
Yeah, importing.
photos.
Right,
Yeah.
importing.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna do that today.
Okay, great.
And
Then
we're
I'll ask
gonna-
my question when that comes up. Thanks.
Okay, yeah. And then we're going to also be working with editing up until now. So anyway, switching quickly over here to the Photos app, since most of you who are here are going to be here are here. So hi everyone. I didn't do my individual hellos, but let me see Deborah and Debbie right next to each other for me. Terry, Leon, let me see what I see. I see Mary, and oh, everyone's pretty visible. Dorothy, Rebecca, Rod, Mimi, and Molly. Cool. I know some other people are coming. Some people said they can't make it, but you all have your videos on, so I'm seeing you. So yay, that's my fave. All right. When we dealt with pretty much every one of these media types, not exactly all of them, but pretty much all of these different smart folders, all of the ones that we create. And last week we started dealing with editing photos. But one thing we haven't really dealt with yet is videos. So a lot of you take videos with your phone and you have a lot of videos. So today we're going to do work again. We're going to first try to see your samples or ask questions about your photos that you've edited. And then we're going to work with editing video inside of the Photos app. And then next week, we're going to continue again. First, I deal with questions or things that you really need or want to know. And then we're also going to work with when you've reached the limit of you can do with videos in the Photos app, or else do you work with the videos that you've taken? You do that in the iMovie app. And so one of the things I need to make sure is that by next week, you all have iMovie on your computer. I made the assumption that everyone's always had iMovie in their computer, and it was the wrong assumption, because last time I taught this, I discovered some people do not have the iMovie app on their computer. So before we start on anything that has to do with photos or anything else, first thing I want to make sure, absolutely sure, is that you guys have everything turned off except for iMovie. So here I have Excel. I'm going to go ahead and quit that. Okay. Here I have, the wave content. I'm going to right click and quit that. So go ahead and quit everything that is unnecessary. Right. And I have a place here that I'm copying things up for you, which is notes. So I need the notes app for teaching. So I'm going to keep that there. But you guys can close everything else. So that's the first request I have. Please close everything by right clicking and quitting. And here on this one, I'm showing you my classes, but after you've seen that, in case people have more questions, I'll leave it open. But other than that, we can close everything. And then 99% of you guys will not have the iMovie app on your dock, because it doesn't set itself in the dock anymore, although some of you might. So if you look at it, it's a star, like the Star Hollywood Walk of Fame. It's a purple star. If you have it there, then you have iMovie. Yay. If you don't have it there, go ahead and let's head over to the very top of your computer in the menu bar up here and click on the spotlight, this search bar, right? And the spotlight search will appear. And then if there, you can write iMovie. iMovie. So one word, IMOVIE. And if you have the app, it will appear. If you don't have the app, it might not appear. So here it's looking for it. And I know I have it, and it was looking for it over here. It's looking, and it's going, can't find it, right? It's indexing, which is actually because I'm sharing my screen, it's a bit harder. But it looks like on this computer, I don't have it. Now I'm gonna go another way. My other computer, I do have it. So then I'm gonna open my Finder window. So another way would be to go to this little window down here. Let me show you again on the dock, to the little half-faced smiley face, click on that. And then on the left side, just click on, you'll find the word somewhere, applications. So then you go over here and you start looking for alphabetical order, A, B, C, D, F, and you might be seeing this window this way, right? So alphabetical order, you go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Oh, there it is. Looks like there it is. Because right now my Spotlight didn't find it because it's dealing with, see what it says, indexing. I've never used the Spotlight here, so it's looking for it. So if you end up stuck in something like this, just get rid of it and then look for it this way. There it is. I have my iMovie app. Now, that's it. That's all you need to know. If you have it, fine. If you don't have it, and this is preparing for next class, right? If you don't have iMovie app, and you don't care to learn about it, then to use it at any time in the future, you can then delete it after we're done with class. We're only going to use it from one class. But if you do want it and have it and you don't find it, then you might need to go to your, it's free, right? But if you don't have it installed, and this is the way you really see, if it's in your applications, then it truly is there. If you don't have it, then you need to go to your app store. So go to Apple icon and App Store. Under System Preferences, there you can open your App Store. You can also open it from here, from the dock. It's this big A made with 3 sticks. And then you can go over here and search for iMovie. And iMovie for the Mac, and then it'll show you iMovie for the Mac. And in my case, since it's start, it'll just say open, but if it's not, then it'll say get, and you'll click on get and it'll download. Okay, so that's the app. It used to come always installed in all the computers, but last time I taught this, I discovered that for some people, it didn't come pre-installed. I think the computers that are smaller, maybe the MacBook Airs with smaller amounts of space, for some reason iMovie isn't installed automatically. As I didn't know that, but as of a few years ago, some computers didn't have it automatically. And it's not any other version, it's this one, iMovie in one word, kind of like iLife for this class, it's iMovie. Okay, so then you click install, and it'll ask you to give it your password, and then it'll install and you'll be ready for next class. So any questions about any of this that I just said, please ask me or raise your hands. How many of you did a search in your applications and found iMovie? And maybe you're viewing it the way I've taught you, which is like this, and you see it this way, whoever way you see it. So if you had it, give me a yes. And if you search and you don't have it, then I can help you try to find it. And then I want to keep going with today's class, because iMovie is for next week. I just want to preset that up. Last time I was surprised. I started the iMovie day and discovered some people didn't have iMovie, and I was like, oh my God. And then we had to spend time with that. So now I want you guys, you have a week to get iMovie ready so that by next week, iMovie is on your computer, right? So if you do not have it, Dorothy, Mary, and Mimi. Molly, I don't know if you have it or not. Terry, check and see if you have it. So again, go to applications and then go up and down alphabetical order until you find and see if you have iMovie. Okay, so do you want me to help you search, Mimi or Mary or Dorothy, to show you how to do that? And then Terry, I don't have your answer yet, whether you have it or not. Please say yes or no if you have it or not. And Molly, the same. And Debbie. I don't know who said yes. When you just say yes, I don't know who it is. So you need to do a little check mark. Okay, Terry, got it. Now, you know what? The thumb, that maybe you had answered already with a thumbs up, but in 3 seconds, the thumbs up is going to disappear. So in the same place you found the thumbs up, a little bit lower, you have a little green check mark, and that stays on. So then I don't have to keep looking at you and wondering what you answered, because I might have forgotten. All right. So Mary, Mimi or Dorothy, do you want to share your screen? Mimi or Dorothy, either one? Oh, well, there you go. Mary just installed it as we were speaking. See, it's really simple thing to do. Mimi, you don't seem to be wanting to share. Dorothy, you don't want to share. So, okay. So then
know how to share.
shared my screen quite a few times.
Okay,
So there we go. Perfect. I just throw it out like that because I know you've shared, but if you ever have questions about how to share again, so if you haven't done it in a while, please remind me. So here we go. It looks like, oh, it doesn't even say share. In your version is a bit older. So instead of saying get, you see this little cloud. So next to the word iMovie, way over to the right, you have a little cloud, and that means download. So click on that to download. Click on it, and we can installed on backup. Oh, so you're trying to install it on the backup. Mac OS version 12.6 or later is required. Oh, because you have High Sierra, right? So
it's not High Sierra, it's Catalina.
Catalina. Okay, so here's the problem. Then you need to find, okay, so if you can't, got it. It would be the Apple About This Mac that you would go. So go to Apple About This Mac so we can see again to make sure. If you have something where it says you can't install it, so your version 10.15, okay, so yeah, do that. So, say no, say close that or move it to the background. And then this here is already, see right there where it says under the iMovie, it says requires Mac OS 12.6 or later. That does not mean that iMovie did not exist before that. iMovie did exist iMovie has been around for eons and eons. It's, in fact, it still has the old name. But the version the App Store has is the version that needs 12.5 or later. So you can find it. You can download it for Catalina. So go open a browser then. For those of you who have High Sierra or Catalina or something older, go open a browser. There you go. And then at the top in the search, say iMovie for Catalina. Go ahead and write that way and see if that's good enough. Say down, not here, up in the search bar of Safari. So up, click in there. Oh, you must have Zoom in the way so you don't see it. You need to make Safari a little bit, pull it down. Yeah, click there and move that out of the way or something.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Click in there and say iMovie for Catalina. And you could have said download. How do you download iMovie for Catalina? See right there. So then say go to that and then don't like Filmora Wondershare. You don't want that one. Go down to Apple discussions and then they'll tell you Catalina. And so then they click on that and it'll say, where can I download it? And then someone will have a link. So scroll down and then it'll tell you how to do it. So scroll down a little bit. You won't be able to download the 10. So drag your 10. Well, some of these are explanations that are a bit more complicated. I can search it myself and tell you, but there's always a link to where they have the older version of iMovie. I'll search for it and send you the link, right? But yeah, iMovie exists. So if you go back and another person's answer might be more specific, they might give you a link. But the other place where you can do that is just go to, this is the web page. See, you are in the community service. If you notice up there at the Apple Store, Mac, iPad, this is the website from Apple, right? And you can ask all that kind of things up there. So you can go to the search of their website. No, stop, not your computer search. We already found out that you don't have it. But right here, right where you go little bit down to where it says entertainment, TV, home, yeah, and go to the right, keep going right, and there's a search of the Apple website. So there you might be able to write iMovie for Catalina, right? And it might give you some answers. So there, see where it says search support, just start typing. You might have, again, the Zoom in the way and search there. And then maybe you'll find, you must have the Zoom stuff in the way because you're not seeing it because your cursor is there. You must have the Zoom stuff in the way. It's okay. I'll go ahead and search it to figure out how to get you to download it and then send you guys a link. And if someone has High Sierra, then search, iMovie for High Sierra, or just say 10.12 or 10.11 or 10 point whatever. Okay. and that'll get it to you installed. I don't want to spend too much more time because I do want to get going, but I'll find you a link and then I'll post it in here. Okay. Okay. The problem is that if I search for it on my computer, they know that I have Monterey. So the computer automatically wants to give me, it wants to give me the version that it's looking at my computer, and it wants to give me the one that I can do, right? So anyway, all right, let me hide Safari and let's share the Photos app, which is what we're still working on today. Okay, so do your best to have iMovie set up for next week. Other than that, Molly, you said you did, you got it. Okay, so basically, anyone who's watching this that is not at home, is not here today and is watching the recording, you download it too, ready to work with videos that we have in our Photos app. So it's part of the Photos app, okay? It's a separate app, but in the iMovie, in order to get to the videos, we're going to connect from iMovie to the Photos app, to this folder here, which has our videos. Okay, so it's like they go hand in hand. It's not like I'm sending you off to a whole new different thing. It's the way to work with videos at a different level. So in here today, we're going to edit videos individually. But if you want to string them together to make like a movie, then you need the iMovie app. Okay, so you're going to string 4 or 5 together, then you need to do the iMovie app. Here we can make one video good, another video good, a third video good. There is a little trick though here, that after you make the 3 videos that you want to make a movie, you could then turn them into a slideshow. You put them here as a slideshow. So we're going to do that. And then you export that as a video. So that's a way to use Photos, the Photos app, to string your videos together. You don't have as much control, but you can string 3 videos together. In iMovie, you can add titles and you can add backgrounds and transitions and in and out and all that kind of cute stuff. So you can make it into something much more professional. So if you're going to show 50 photos of your videos of your kids in a wedding, you know how they have, growing up, meeting, getting to know each other, getting married, those kind of photos. You can do that here with photos and videos and then put it out as a video, or you can do that in iMovie, right? So it's just different ways of doing that. In iMovie, you have much more control over recording voiceover or that kind of thing. But you can do quite a bit here in the Photos app as well. So we're going to work on both of those. All right. So before we go videos, I wanted to ask more about editing. Who has worked on their photos? Who has questions? Please, if you've tried to edit a photo, any photo, if you've just tried, then give me a yes. And you're not right or wrong. Don't like say yes if you didn't. Just if you tried to edit something of your own, give me a yes. If you just kind of took last class and haven't moved on since there, give me a no, just so I have an idea of how in-depth editing you have. And if you said yes, it doesn't need to be successful. It could be that it didn't work and now you have questions about it, right? But if you didn't ever edit photos in the video outside of last week's class, then give me a no. If you already know how to edit from the before and you don't have any more editing questions, then give me a yes. Okay, but I need a yes or a no from everyone. And then if you have questions, I'll answer them. So while I'm waiting for y'all to say yes or no, yes, Terry.
I'm sorry, I hit the wrong thing. I meant to say
Oh.
yes.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. So that was a
I've made
raised,
videos, so
no, the raised
Remember.
hand is a question, right? So yeah, that's
Right.
why. Okay,
I
I'll
don't know
lower
how
your
to get
hand.
rid of it.
No problem. I'll get rid of it. But
Okay,
when you go to when you have raised your hand, you go to the same place and now instead of raise hand, it'll say lower hand. So that's how you get rid of it. But right now it says raise hand because I lowered your hand.
okay.
And then right above that is the check mark green check mark for yes, right above the raise hand. And that would be a yes. All right. Cool. So some of you guys tried it. Some of you guys didn't. Those of you who tried it, if you didn't try it, you won't have more questions probably, unless you did try it because you had questions, in which case ask questions. But those of you who did try, Did you run into something that didn't work? Something you would have done more, something that you go, well, I wish this had gone better. How can I do more to it? Or, yay, I was really successful. And if you want to share, I'm happy to see that too, like share your photo. All right, so Rod, your hand is up.
I was on the phone with my brother and he said he had learned how to do the editing in photos on his phone.
Mhm.
So the question I have, is it very similar to what you're teaching us here on the phone?
Yes, extremely similar. And thank you for saying that, because I do remember now that I didn't show you how to edit photos on the phone. So as a review, let's go to photos on our phone. By the way, if you don't, if you didn't edit them on the computer, you can edit them on the phone. A lot of you guys really operate based on phone, and you're 90% of the time on your phone instead of on your computer. It was unthinkable before, but more and more as I teach these classes, I'm spending more and more time showing everyone how to do it on the phone, because also the phones can do almost the same that the computers can do. Before you could only do a few things on the phone and a lot on the computers, but now you can do so much that and on the iPad, it's almost parallel. Okay, what you can do from one to the other. So I'm sharing my phone right now. Hold on, because, come on. Why is my phone not? Let me stop the share and I need to reconnect. My phone has to reconnect with the cable. There it is. It wasn't well connected. All right, so let me see this time if it receives it. I'm prompted, select trust, but I'm not being prompted. Hello. Why am I not? Why is my phone suddenly not sharing itself when it is such a, my screen is loading. All right, one last try. I'm going to connect it through AirPlay. Can I do that? Connect Wi-Fi to Frontier. 5G. I'm trying to share in a different way now. There. Okay. And then tap screen
Well, last week.
mirroring
Oops, sorry.
and choose Zoom. I'm just sharing it by air instead of by cable because for some reason the cable isn't wanting to. All right, so it's thinking. And let's see if it resolves itself. Otherwise, I might need to. There it is.
There you go.
Now you're seeing it through Zoom mirroring. Okay, there we go. So, okay, so here's my Photos app. Okay, so let's start with the Photos app through library. Go to their library to start with. Okay. So now go up and down and select a photo you want to edit. Any photo. Don't worry too much about it being the perfect photo because we're just going to see how to do this on the computer versus on the phone versus the computer. So I'm going to select this photo. And this photo is, and I'm on my phone right now. Okay. And this photo here is, hold on, I need to change my window of share so that I can, I'm having, when I share this on my phone, it's being hidden by, hold on, your faces are hiding the window that I'm trying to see, to share, and it's different than when I share by cable. So it's showing a little bit differently. Okay. So here, it's not, it's interesting. It's just not, I'm going to go back off. It's kind of trying to be fancy, and it's when I'm clicking on a photo, instead of showing you the exact window, it's going into this full screen mode, not showing you the edit. This isn't going to work.
I'm not seeing any gallery, so it's weird that you're seeing everybody's faces and I'm not.
I have two different computers, and so I'm working on it differently. When I share my screen, if you want to see other people's faces, you have to change the window that you're doing, but you don't need to see people's faces, nor mine. You need to see my phone. So
I was
right now,
just letting you know.
yeah. It's a Zoom thing. And when I'm sharing my screen, there's no need to see anything else. And so my concern is that by sharing it this way, as I'm trying to show you the screen, all you're seeing is the photo. And I don't want you to see the photo. I want you to see the tools, which is weird. Okay, but if so, when you select a photo, notice that at the top, and this is crazy, I can't show it to you. At the top, it says edit. So I'm going to click on edit. And so the only thing I can't show you is that edit button. So select a photo, and then up on the top right, you'll see the word edit in blue. Once you edit it, here you are. This is, it looks different, but is the same place that we were in our computer to edit our photos. So once again, I'm going to cancel. I'm going to hit cancel to get out of there. From the small version where you see all your photos, when you select it, select a photo to edit, you'll see a screen that is not sharing itself right now. I don't know why, but in your phone at the top, it'll have a little arrow on the top left, on the top right, it'll say edit, and there'll be 3 dots. Hit that word edit. And now you're here. You're in the edit this phone mode, this app mode. No, thank you, Yoli, for arriving. And no, don't worry for being late. Just grab your phone and follow along. We're going to edit a photo on the phone, which is the same thing we did on the computer, but we're going to do it on the phone right now. Okay. So by the way, I'm going to clean your answers so that when I ask you questions and answers, you can show me. All right. So here we are. In what way does this differ? Well, they can't have a sidebar here on the right to show me my tools. So instead they have them down here, right? So what am I talking about? Watch, I'm going to put my mouse here and I'm going to start pulling to the right. And each one of these little circles is one of those things that we saw last class. So I'm going to back up, right? And here's exposure. Here's the automatic button. If you want the computer to do it for you, let's click on this little magic one. We saw that yesterday. So I'm going to here, automatic button. What does the computer think? It did a big, tiny change, but not much. So I'm going to click it again for it to go black to say, nah, I don't like that. That's not a good change. Okay. Then the next one, as I hover over it, and when it hits that middle, it says this is exposure. So do I think this photo is too dark? Do I need to move it lighter or not? And I'm going to say, okay, let me try that. So then my mouse, I move my hand down here and I go lighter or darker. So this is the center point. And if I move it to the right, I make the photo much lighter. If I move it to the left, I make the photo much darker. Okay. So that is exposure. I'm going to put it back in the middle right there, not change the exposure right now. And I'm going to try the next one. So to try the next feature, I have to go up here with my mouse again, and then I'm going to click on this and drag it over again. So that's brilliance. And then I make the brilliance lighter or darker. And so see how my photo is changing, some of them more than others, right? So I might go, well, maybe I need to add a bit of brilliance to mine. Right now, I'm going to keep setting them back to 0, just so that we can see the effect of each one. But later you do a bit of this, a bit of that, and that's how you fix it. Right now, I'm going to keep going back to 0. Now I'm going to go over here and put my mouse on this, and this is highlights. So if I want to see that, I again, put your finger down here, and I'm only changing my highlights. See how only my sky and my snow are changing, but see my snow is beginning to look white, whereas before it wasn't looking white. So this might be a good idea. So I'm going to go back to 0. Okay, now let's head over here. And so on and so forth. Shadows. So do I need to lighten my shadows? Ooh, oh, I like that, because when I lighten my shadows, I can suddenly see, and I'm going to make this, I'm going to put my fingers here and make it bigger. And this thing that looked black is actually an Adobe structure. And I couldn't see it when I wasn't lightening my shadows. It looked like this dark black thing. And now, oh, that really worked to lighten my shadows. See? So, and I lightened it from there, and I was like, oh, I can see Adobe now. That's cool. And how I made it bigger or smaller is by opening up with my fingers on the screen, going like that to see the parts that I want to see. If I make it really big and now I want to see how my sky looks, I'm putting my finger on the screen and I'm looking over to my sky because I can't see the whole photo when I'm moving it in. So then I go back down to seeing the whole photo and I keep playing with these other options. So now I'm going to back off on my shadows again, just because I'm backing everything off to show you what each one does. But I'm definitely going to come and tweak shadows on this one when I'm done showing you. So then I move my mouse and I put it over this and I drag over. Contrast, so I go down here. Add contrast, take away contrast, right? Et cetera, et cetera. So you can keep going through all of these one by one. Brightness, do you want to add brightness? And yeah, so here it looks like brightness would work well, right? So color, so then you keep going. So this is black point, saturation, vibrance, color, details, focus, tint. You play with all of these. And when you find one that you think you need, then you go down here and you play with it down there. Okay, so that's all of the things that we did in the photo the other day. But now I'm going to go back to the ones I liked. I liked shadows. I'm going to lighten my shadows on this photo. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to lighten the shadows. I'm going to go really, really harsh with it. And I'm going to see, because I really like having the shadows lighter, but the snow still doesn't look like snow. So now I'm going to see if I go to my highlights or my brilliance and maybe brightness, and I'm going to make this brighter. And there you go. I'm brightening. See how the snow is beginning to look more snowy. But now then this went a little bit overexposed now that I lightened my brightness. So maybe I have to back off and go back to shadows and maybe not make my shadows so much brighter. Now you can still see it's Adobe, but I still see it's a stormy day. So yeah, so this photo, even with nothing else, this photo is already looking much better. That's how you would do those kind of adjustments. When you have finished and adjusting, you can go to the bottom right and say, done, bing, right there, done. And there goes, this is the one that doesn't share itself. I back out and here's my photo. This time it's the good version, okay? The better than before. Now, if I hate it and I'm not sure, then I go back to edit. And just like before, I can just get rid. I can go here to revert and get rid of all the changes I made and go back to the one where my image was dark. So I'm going to click on that and revert to original. Yep, revert to original, and boom, that's what I started with. Okay, so you can get rid of everything you did. So don't fear if you did something that was a mess, because you can just undo it, right? Or you can go back to brilliance and change your brilliance in a different way. Now, when I got rid of the shadows, I got rid of some of the murkiness. And so it kind of stopped being so stormy, right? And so maybe I want to go and I want to change a little bit what I'm going to do, and I'll read it again, and et cetera, et cetera. So now I'm going to go to my highlights and make some of my highlights down again. Now, that's one thing. That's this set of choices right there. What other choices I can make is, remember that there were some automatic filters. I go over here, and these are my automatic filters where I automatically will turn it into a blue or green or a whatever photo. So this is, I showed you this also last week, and say that I want it to look like that. I just leave it there. I want it to look yellowish, right? But if I don't, I'm going to go back to original. So I'm not going to change any of that, but that's an automatic filter applied. And then the last one here is if I want to crop it or straighten it. And so I'm going to click on this last one here. Okay, right there, click. And so now, what if I wanted to crop it? I want to take some of this foreground away. I can grab it from here and push it in a little bit. Or maybe what I wanted to do is take all that stormy sky away. I don't think I would choose that, but that's something I can do. Maybe I just wanted to focus on this little building part of it, so I can do that. So I'm cropping into this image, right? And then if it's crooked, I can go down here and straighten it right there. So I can say, well, that line, the horizon wasn't straight enough, and I'm going to actually straighten it a little bit. And there you go. And then when I'm done, I can say once again, done. So now that's the photo that I have. So my photo has changed quite a bit, right? Because I cropped a bunch out of it. This is the photo now, right? And so I'm going to click on it again and say, no, I didn't like that crop. I'll turn it on again. I'll say edit again. And then I'm going to go back to the crop because I don't want to revert what I did in color. I just want to revert my crop. So I'm going to go to the crop and I'm going to click in there to go to my cropping. And I am going to reset just the cropping portion of it. If I say revert, the whole thing reverts back to the beginning. But if I reset my crop, then I don't lose all the lightness, but I get my photo back. Okay, which is the original one. So there you go. And I'm gonna say done. So I've done to this photo, very similar to what I would have done to it in, or the same, that would have, what I would have done on the computer. So now I just went through that whole thing without stopping, taking questions or anything. So now, if you've successfully edited a photo on your phone, give me a yes. If you have no idea what I was doing and you want some help, give me a no. And I can go through these things a bit more slowly. Yeah, some people sit here and edit photos. You know, again, I always say my example when you're at the phone office. Are you not seeing my face, by the way? No, okay. I'm there somewhere. I was just seeing my still photo of myself. Okay, so questions, Rebecca?
You showed us last week how to brighten just part of the picture with the face of a little boy. I don't remember how we did that.
Well, that was a bit tricky. No, I didn't show you how to lighten only the face of the little boy. I showed you that if you lighten the shadows, all the shadows lighten up, and his face was a shadow. But in the snow, there was no shadow, so nothing else lightened up. But in that case, when you lighten the shadows lightened up the face, which in this case is kind of similar because I went to the shadows setting, right? And when I lightened up the shadows, it seems like all I'm working on is that little guy up there. But in reality, all the other shadows that are here are also lightening up. So it wasn't that I was able to target the face, just all the shadows. So in this case, although the main subject matter is working, there's shadows somewhere else. And so they're all lightening up. Okay, so that's a little bit the give and take. You can't completely isolate and just lighten the face. You can do that in Photoshop, and I teach Photoshop, and I can do that definitely in Photoshop. It would make this photo perfect. But here, I'm stuck with all shadows, all highlights, or so on and so forth. Okay, so if I fix this shadow, then the shadow in my sky also was lightened. Okay, that my sky is a shadow and it got lightened. And although I liked seeing the Adobe, now I can't isolate it. Okay, but I couldn't have isolated on my computer either. This is not a problem of being on your phone. This is a problem that you can't isolate an area. You need a professional tool like Photoshop. Okay, and that's the other thing that I teach. If you want to really get your photos to look much better at a higher level, then take my Photoshop class, which is a beginner level. So you're all capable of taking it. Someone asked me, do you need to own the applications? No, you don't. So you're all welcome to take one of those. Okay. All right. So now if I want to, the only thing that's hard is this is if I want to undo the last thing I did right there, undo changes or something like that. There isn't a very quick before and after. That's the only thing that there isn't, which is a bit of a problem. So anyway, no, that I was not supposed to do that. So before you could see before and after your changes, that's the only thing that you can't do here. At most you can do undo and then redo, right? Kind of like before and after, but that only does undo redo of your last setting, it not the whole before and after. So that's the only thing that you don't have here that you have on the computer. You can go undo, redo, see before and after as you keep making your changes. Here, you don't. That's it. All right. So yeah.
Do you
So
think they'll improve making a mask or something in the future?
I hope so, but that depends on how much. No, there's some other features that are pretty cool that our camera does right now. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to revert basically everything that we've been doing on this one because I want to leave this photo untouched to start with. So I just went back on my undo. So I haven't changed. I've undone all of my changes to leave it as it was from at the beginning. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to just revert. Okay. I say done. And so that's kind of how I started out with this image. There's a feature in the camera, in the new camera, and this camera, I don't know if this camera will do it. I haven't, this phone is pretty old. Let me see if this phone does it. If I hover, yeah, it did. Oh, but it's not sharing itself. Oh, the system isn't sharing.
It's sharing.
No. What I'm doing right now is not sharing what I'm doing, which is I am putting my finger on this body, which is clearly isolated from everything else, right? There's no question that it's complicated. It's a very easy to isolate. I'm hovering and just actually clicking on this for
Mhm.
quite a bit. And then when I drag my mouse out, I'm actually separating it. I'm gonna, it's not sharing itself, and I'm gonna copy that thing. You can't see anything of what I'm doing. This share isn't working. And I have copied, it's been masked out, just this
Mhm.
body. Okay.
Mhm.
So say that I wanted to send a text right now. I'm gonna go and do my messages and I'm gonna send a little text up here and
Mhm.
I'm gonna post in here and I'm gonna paste and see, this is what I just got out of that. And you can't see it in any other way, but this is the body cut out from that whole image. And that was because I held my finger tight on my screen, right? When I was in the Photos app, not here. And then like the little subject matter got isolated, masked out, and then I copied that and I can paste it in here. Okay. So I'm going to send it to SBCC, which is myself. I'm going to send it to myself right there.
You don't have to
And,
push any keys on.
and I've done this here with this dog. I've isolated him. So it's just your finger down on the Photos app and open a photo that you wouldn't be able to do that say here. It's not very clear what's the foreground, what's the left. It might isolate this face if you click and hold. Did it work? No, it's not. It's, yeah, it kind of picked up just the face. So it has to be something very, very specific. It wouldn't work on this. There's no specific thing. So what can it isolate, right? There's no isolation it can do. So it doesn't work on this. So find any photo where you have something that's easy to set. Like this wouldn't work either. There's no one subject, right? So find something where you see one thing, for example, this couple, yay, click and put your finger here, just hold it tight. And in your phone, you will see like a little flash happening. And when you move your mouse, I have just isolated this thing. I'm going to try to reconnect the way I do normally with a cable, because this is weird that it's not sharing that portion. So let me just reshare and see if it's resolved itself and I can share through cable, because when I share through cable, my phone isn't asking me to trust, and it needs to come up with a trust question that it's not sending me the trust request. I disconnected this phone earlier, a few days ago, and for some reason, someone changed my cable. Oh, my son, he changed my cable. I've not been in the, it's not the phone that's connected. He asked me if he could charge the other day, and I said, yeah, and all right, this will work now, sorry. Let me share again, I just didn't have the right cable connected. There we go. Okay, so this is what I've been trying to show you. So now if I select a photo, right? See how now it's showing me everything? This is the edit where I kept saying you hit the edit right there and you go into edit mode, okay? So now I'm gonna cancel because I don't wanna edit, but what I wanted to show you is this other feature, which if you have a photo that has a subject like this, I'm putting my thumb, I'm gonna press here. See how it did that little flash, kind of like a, I'm gonna do it one more time. It's gonna be like a little science fiction kind of zoom. It's gonna happen like a little magnetic watch. Press. You see that little flash? When I let go, it's telling me, do you want to copy or do you want to share this? See how now it's kind of giving me this magical little and it says, what do you want to do? Copy or share? Last time I said copy. Now I'm going to say share from here. And I'm going to go ahead and share, and I'm sending it to myself again, right? And I'm going to say to SBCC to this phone. And as you can see, it's isolating us from the whole beach. I'm not saying that this is ideal. This photo, I preferred on the beach, but that's what that feature is. And now I can say send, and I have separated it. So it's just hold your finger and that little kind of thing happens. And that is guessing at isolating it. Okay. So then you
It
can,
doesn't happen for me.
what iPhone do you have? Because I have an iPhone 10, which is now pretty old, and it's doing it. So it does depend a little bit, and the older phones don't do that because you need to have a press ready screen that can do that. So I'm going to open this photo here, and I'm going to, again, just put my thumb down and don't let go. Boom. That's all it needs to do. And then that's the boom, right? And that's that little bit that's been separated. So for those of you for whom this worked, give me a yes. Wait, let me clear your answers. For those of you for whom this worked, give me a yes. The whole isolating.
It did.
Good. And the main thing is that if you go like, well, what's the point? I don't want it. The main point of me showing you this is because a lot of people are looking at a photo and they just kind of do this. And then suddenly it was like, oh, I was just looking at my photo and suddenly you're like, what's happened? It's like, it's this weird thing to happen if you don't know that it should be happening. What do you mean that this thing just got disconnected from my phone? So a lot of the times people go, what, why is this doing that? Right. And so that's why I'm showing it to you. If I do this, I don't know, will it disconnect no, it's not really figuring it out to disconnect this. There's no subject matter. So that one, it won't happen. But if you happen to be showing someone the photo of your friend, and then you're like, oh, look at this person, it's so cute, and you put your finger on him, then suddenly you're carrying these around. You might go, what the, what's happening? So that's that. So I'm showing you the feature mainly as a preventative. And then for some people who like to do social media, now like you can go into Facebook and paste it and show, oh, me with my dog or whatever, without all the background or stuff like that. You can do that. You can share it with people, you can message it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's a feature that that lets you isolate a piece. And all of this came from the question that Rebecca asked, can I isolate one part to lighten it? No, you can't. But that reminded me that there's this little masking feature. And so I'm showing it to you.
How
Okay.
about that? Do you use paste on the other phone, either picture when you want to paste it?
Yeah. So say that I go to this photo and I isolate this and I click and hold.
Mhm.
It gives me a choice to copy or share. If I share, then not. But if I were to copy, I hit copy right now, then I can go into other, like I can go into my mail app and I'm going to send a mail and I'm going to send a message to someone, for example, and I'm going to go into my mail if you have it set up. And I say, I write a message to someone, and then over here, I can then hold my finger tight, and then I get the choice to paste. So I get it, hold my finger down and I paste, and there we go. Now I can email someone this little bit only of the photo, right? Instead of the whole photo, right? So that's what a copy works. Or if you open a Word document and you want to send, so this is a portrait, right? And so I write portrait and I'm going to send it again to myself. There we go, to SPCC. I keep choosing this one because it's I'm sending it to this phone, to myself, and then I email it and I can choose. You want to send it small, big, large? It's just small because it's cute. There you go. The next person who arrives and gets this photo, and in this case, it will be me, I will see a photo. When it arrives, I will see that photo arrive to me. And when I open it, it'll just have that little bit instead of the entire photo. Here it is. Here it arrived. oh, I just sent this to this person. And when I click on it, here it is. I just sent this to someone. Okay. And it's an email that just arrived to me. So I'm not teaching you here how to use mail. That's something I'm doing in another class, just showing you like where you could maybe be using a pasting this little bit of a photo. Okay, why would you would copy it to paste it into some other device? Maybe you're on your phone, you're using your Word app and you're pasting it into a flyer. Your lost cat, you isolate your cat, paste it into a flyer, and you post a lost cat, right? And you want to isolate it from its other background. And so then you post it all over your neighborhood. You can do that on your phone. All right. I don't want to, I want to, oh, here, okay, Rod, yes?
Yes, can you hear me okay?
Yep, I can.
Okay, I've got my grandson in a picture. I clicked on it and, brought it up where it's in the edit screen. And when I put my cursor on him, I can't get him to do the whatever the
Yeah,
isolation just
So
hit.
this is on my phone. There's no cursor. It's just my finger. This does not work on the computer.
Oh,
It's a phone feature, iPhone feature only.
Oh.
Got it. When you said cursor, that gave it away. This is only a cute little thing they've done on your phone. You cannot, it would be interesting, right? For some reason, it's the first time the phone can do something the computer can't, which is this feature. A lot of people take a picture and they want to just isolate one person and send it to someone, or you
Right.
know, you're in the middle
Okay.
of a street and you just want the person a hug. So it's really like a phone, an immediate, oh, let me do this picture here. Let me just send you this bit of it, right? Instead of sending you the whole photo. So it's something just on your phone. Okay.
Okay, thanks. I'm
And
glad I
also-
asked.
Also, oh, go ahead.
Yes, Fouchier?
When you paste it, you don't paste in the empty screen. Put it in a iMessage, small little thing.
Yeah, I can put it in the iMessage as a text. I showed you both texting it and messaging it. You can also open an app. If I have like the Word app, for example, and I'm creating a document. So say I have the Pages app to create a flyer, as I said, I could go in here and create a new Pagers and paste it in here. So I haven't used it here before, but this is a document, right? I'm just gonna make myself oh, I shouldn't, and then I can click and hold in here and paste it, right? Paste, boom. There, I've just put this photo in this document that I'm gonna say invitation to, you know, whatever. For some reason, I'm creating this document and I'm just gonna invite people to a party. And it's in fact, this just happened. We just had a farewell party for my son because he's taking off to Berkeley, right? And so I could do that on my phone. I would personally do all of this on my computer, but right now I could write an invitation here, save it and send it to everyone as a PDF, just all on my phone, right? And I
It's not
isolated
really
this little bit.
the perfect mask, but it's pretty good.
Oh yeah, and we're curly haired people, which is the hardest thing to mask. So if you
Mhm.
approach, you can see it's a little bit weird there on the edges,
Mhm.
but come on, it's good enough, right? I mean, it
Yeah.
looks, if you really approach it, looks a
Amazing.
little bit weird, but it's definitely good enough. See here, there's a little bit of weirdness in that little bit right there, but who cares? You know, it's fine. It's definite. See there, that little bit of weirdness. Curly hair is the hardest thing in the world to mask, but it does a pretty good job. Okay, so now there we go. All right,
I like that.
it's a cool feature. Social media, people who post things on social media can do this a lot. All right, so now let me stop that share. Any other, Rebecca? That's the old question, right? Your hand. I'll lower your hand. No other is a new question. No. Okay.
Yeah, I just noticed I was adjusting on my phone and made the adjustment. And when I tapped it, it would go back and forth between the adjustment and the original.
Oh, that's interesting. Thank you. Let me share my screen and test that out. So, so you made an adjustment on your
Yeah.
phone. So I'm going to go and adjust. I don't know. Here, I'm going to make an adjustment. So here, I'm going to go up to edit. And when it pops up, let me make a very obvious adjustment so there's no questions. I'm going to go over here to exposure and I'm going to make it really, really dark, right? So there's an adjustment. Okay. So you click on this. Oh, you're right. Oh, how cool. Thank you, Rebecca. Look, I made an adjustment. I made it dark and I want to see the before and after. And all I'm doing is, if you can see me in the little photo of me, all I'm just doing is tap to see before, tap to see the after, tap before and after. And if I like the after, I continue and now I move on to something else. And I go to brilliance. And now I'm going to change the brilliance of this photo. There we go. And now tap before and after. Okay, tap and tap. Cool. But it is the cumulative. Let's say that I go with colors here to make a very different color. Now it's a very brightly, you know, neon colored image. So I tap and I started and tap my adjustments, which is what I'm doing right now, which clearly is not an adjustment I would normally make, but there you go. I'm going to go back to exposure and center it so that it's, I don't have this weird exposure to it, but I will change the colors. I will go to the colors and I've made them very bright or not. And I'm just tapping and tapping. So cool. This is the photo, by the way, but if I tap
Diana,
the feature,
Diana,
then it, wait, if I tap the feature, the little round circle right here, if I touch the photo, it shows me before and after. But if I go over here and tap this little icon, that's turning that change on or off. You see how it goes bright or dark? It's just that feature. If I go over here and I change this feature, which is I'm going to make the whole photo much darker. I want to just see the before and after of this. I just tap right here, boom, boom. And I keep the rest of the changes. If I go over here, it takes me to the original that I started with and then to the changed one. So that's pretty cool. Play around with it because it might not make sense, everything that we
Diana,
said.
since you can mask it, you must be, we must be able to do that adjustment for the background or whatever.
No, because that is not a mask. You can't like select this and separate that. Now I'm not able to, well, you might be right.
You
I have
know
just
what I mean?
isolated this. Now we go
Yeah.
to edit and let's see, will it isolate? Will it work only on the thing I've isolated? No, it didn't work.
No.
It does the whole thing. So I was
That's
just
too
willing to have you
bad.
be right. I really was hoping, but no. It doesn't work
That's
on
too
the
bad.
on that little mask piece. But hey, you never know. As much as I said I don't know how to go back and forth, and you guys found it. Why? Because I've never really do much of my editing on my phone.
Oh.
So those are
Oh.
little hidden features that I learned when you guys show them to me or someone shows them to me. So
Well,
yay.
Diana,
Yes.
since we can isolate it, paste it in someplace else, and someplace else you can adjust, no?
Oh yeah, you can adjust it in someplace else, but at that point you can't
But
bring it
not
back
on
in.
the phone,
You
huh?
can't bring it back in here and then make it the face look good in the dark photo. You know what I mean? It's fine, but you can just isolate the face and make it light, but it
Mhm.
doesn't help you for this photo, right? So yeah. All right. But yeah, I like the way you're thinking and playing around with these things. Okay, Dorothy.
Yeah, I've got about 15 photos in the raw folder or file on my computer. Why are they called raw and what do you do with them?
All right, so notice that this one was a raw photo as well. All the ones I've been opening are raw photos. So when I show, oh, let me share my screen again. So right now I was showing to you on my phone, but it's just as valid if I'm showing it. So here's the photo these photos that I've been showing to you. When I click them, see how they say raw up there? So if you see that, that means that you shot this photo in raw. Let me explain what that is. And if you, it's a camera feature, right? So I'm going to go and open my camera. And when you are taking photos in your camera, there's one option, and I guess it's not available in the iPhone 10. Or maybe I have to, let me see if I can turn it on, because
It's
in
yeah,
my iPhone 12, I can do it, but in my iPhone 10, let me go to the camera features. I might have to turn it on. So where's my camera? General photos, camera. Here it is, camera. Formats. Nope. Show detect, because this is an iPhone 10. Before you couldn't do raw on your phone. iPhone 10 is quite a few photos away, quite a few versions away.
I've got 13 and I don't have that setting.
Yeah, you do. I have it 12 and I have it. Okay, so I don't see here the option for that. So let me connect my real phone to this. So let me disconnect. And I'm going to connect my real camera now. And I'll show you what RAW is or isn't. So here we go. Let me share my screen. So now this is my real phone, which is an iPhone 12. And maybe that's the thing. This is an iPhone 12 Pro Max, which is the whole point of it. It's really good for photography. So maybe the regular one doesn't, but see, I have a choice to shoot this photo in RAW or not shoot it in RAW. And that's the choice. Now I'll explain to you what that means, but that's where you would make the choice if you have RAW enabled in your phone. Now let me see if I have, hold on, let me look at my system settings here in my real phone and let me see if it's something that you need to turn on. I don't know if it's just available for me because I have a Pro Max. When I go to formats, see photo capture, Apple Pro RAW. This is available for me under camera formats. So I don't know if it's all 12s and 13s or if it's just this one that is a Pro Max, right? So you would go under camera formats. And if you want to be able to take RAW, you need to turn this feature on. Otherwise, it is not automatically on. Why? Because RAW files, now I'll begin to explain what RAW files are. They use way much more, they take way much more space in your phone than a regular photo. A regular photo gets saved as a JPEG or an HEIC, which are just formats that are very compressed and you can take thousands of photos. But if you shoot RAW, that image that you shoot is not compressed. So each file you photograph is 25 megabytes, which is ridiculous. All the others are like, 1 megabyte. Regular photos are 1 megabyte in the iPhone 12 and an older phone, they might take even less space. And if each time I click one RAW photo, it's equivalent to 25 regular photos. So if you suddenly take, 5 or 10, suddenly it's equivalent of 250 other photos. So you wouldn't go to RAW just willy-nilly. So why would you want RAW? Well, if you are going to be working with photos at another level, this is going to be printed. You're going to work with it. You're going to put it on a wall, or you're going to put it on exhibition or something like that. It's going to be part of your piece of art. You want to be able to manipulate that photo at its most. I wouldn't use this. I would use Photoshop. This Photoshop shot in RAW, not compressed. I can do much more stuff to it in Photoshop than I could if this were off and I could only photograph if I could only photograph in JPEG, which would be that, then that photo is going to be small and it'll already be kind of pre-processed. So this is for people who want to do a lot of work with processing your photos after the fact. Okay, so once you turn it on from here, then your camera, when you shoot, has the choice to shoot in RAW or not RAW. And you have to leave it on or off depending on what. So I have it in not RAW all the time. But then when I'm in the middle of photographing something that really matters, like the photos of Taos that I was showing you before, I went ahead and photographed it all in. So now I'm going to my computer app and all these photos that that I shot in. I need to disconnect that now because now I'm going to put my old phone on again. The one that I teach from. Here we go. And there we go. And in this camera, in the iPhone 10, I don't have the choice, okay, to switch to. And so all the photos that I took in Taos, which are these here, I wasn't shooting a photo for cuteness. I was shooting a photo that I want to later maybe do something with. So I shot them in RAW, okay? That said, sometimes I forget to turn it off and then I leave it on and then suddenly a photo of a birthday party, which was not important, also turned out to be RAW, right? And it's like, ugh, now I'm stuck with a RAW photo, but whatever, because you have to learn to turn it off and on. But when you want to take it purposely in RAW, I'll grab this photo of and Telby what's this called? Canyon. And I'm going to work with this until I'm going to get some really good stuff happening. And if I work at it in Photoshop, right, I can get some beautiful stuff out of this. When I'm done, this will be much prettier. It'll look more like what I saw. What I saw was that, but this is what the camera got, right? That's what I saw. This is what the camera got. So I can process it, and this done in with a raw in Photoshop, I can make this look like a museum piece, which I could not if I didn't have the raw. All right, enough about raw. So you guys, if you have the capability and you choose to shoot it, be careful, because each shot is worth 25 shots. So leave it off unless you're shooting that perfect rainbow that then will become, you know, a huge print on your wall or something like that. Yes, questions, Deborah?
Hi, I'm sorry if you already did this. I was trying to go back and forth and understand things on my phone and computer. How do I have a 13 phone, 13 mini. So I'm assuming I've got RAW, but I don't know. Could you show me where to find it again?
Yeah, go to your settings,
Okay.
computers, your phone settings, and then go to your phone. I'm gonna reshare my phone, but now I've connected my phone that doesn't have it, but I'll show you anyway. So go to your settings.
Yeah.
Right. And so when you're your settings, this is the top, scroll down, 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 down until you get to your camera. This is where we handle
Okay.
cameras and photos. And in
Okay.
your camera, at the very top is formats. Click on
Okay.
formats, and this phone doesn't have it. But your 13, does it have the choice for RAW? If so, then you can turn it on.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it does. Yeah, just one second.
Well-
Okay, I'm in camera
Mhm.
and it'll just say raw.
At the no, at the top, formats.
Formats. Got it. Here I am. Formats. Yes.
Do you see RAW down there that you can turn on or off?
No, under camera capture, I just see high efficiency or most.
Okay, so
compatible.
then that means you can't. And remember, I tell my 12 is an iPhone 12 Pro Max, which are the ones set up to be much more professional with photography. It's not even the Pro nor the 12, or not the 13. It's the 13 Pro is different and the 13 Pro Max is different. My phone, I bought it specifically for photography and film. So I bought the Pro Max, and that's the one that has this feature. Okay.
Rats.
Maybe the Pro also has the feature. I don't know, but the Pro Max for certainly does.
But the mini doesn't have it. Okay.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of why you might pay more for one or another. I don't care about the size of the photo. I care about the capability. And for me, the capability, the only reason I am able to feel that when I'm walking around, I can take a good enough photo is because I have a phone that I can do a higher quality photo. If I want to use it for my work, if it's just for fun, I don't care if it's grainy or not. It's a beautiful photo of my kid. I don't care at all if it's raw or not raw. But if I'm going to really work with it at another level, then I want the features, but it's more expensive. And if you don't need that, why buy that phone, right? Okay, looks like you have a question then, Fouchier. And by the way, thanks for showing that, because now I can say, no, if you don't have the Pro, you don't have the Pro Max. I don't know, maybe someone who has the Pro version of one of the photos, you know how you can buy iPhone 10, 10 Pro, 10 Pro Max, iPhone 12, 12 Pro, different Max.
We all should go to the setting and take a look at it.
Yeah, so I would love someone who has just a Pro, not a Pro Max, to go to the settings and tell me whether you see the RAW, because maybe all it takes is a Pro version. I know for sure Pro Max, so that's mine. I know for sure not in the non-Pro, because Mary just showed that. So then no, Deborah, and then now someone with a Pro tell me if it works or not, and then that'll tell me. All right, Fouchier.
Yes. When I go to take a picture, I see two things. Left hand side is the flash, and right hand side it says like a bullseye thing, and it says
so
live or live on or live off.
Yeah. So Fouchier, not that I don't want to answer, but first, second, or third class of this session, I spent a lot of time talking about that.
Sometimes, seriously, we are very slow. We're old.
No, I hear you.
Hard to follow sometimes.
I hear you, Fouchier. What I'm saying is, you have the links to all of my classes, right? And I'm telling you that
I haven't got there yet. Remember, I asked you with the last class, past class. You said you're going to send me the email. That was it.
Yeah, and you did.
Email of how to get to the class files. I sent an email to everyone.
Really important for me. I mean,
okay, Fouchier.
Crucial for me.
Fouchier,
Yes.
I sent it. Who got it? You guys all got it?
Yep.
It's an email. I sent an email. I even sent it during class. I sent an email to everyone showing how to get to the class handouts, okay? And I'm going to go over here into my computer and I'm going to search again because in my email, in my Gmail, I want to make sure that you were included and this was sent last week. Last week was what, Wednesday, July. Someone can tell me what last week was, but I called it just so you can find it.
Last Wednesday, right?
Last Wednesday, what class was last? I need to go to the calendar. I can't guess. Last Wednesday was July 26th. Okay, so here's July 26th and glaze order.
Zoom link to today's live class.
Yeah. But I don't see in the sent the Zoom link. So I don't see it, but I know I sent it and quite a few of you
It's
guys
not
said
there.
yes.
It's not there.
Well,
I look at the 26th. It says Zoom link to today's live class on the 26th. That's all I have.
well, I will send it again because I don't see it either.
You know, I think it
But
is
no, but
very-
let me just, but wait. I need to finish this off. Let me finish this conversation. Even if I didn't send it, which I thought I had, and some of you got it, so I need to figure out how come. Let me just show one more important thing, which is that I constantly, right? Over here, if you go to the class handouts, and that might be what's hard for you is to get to the class handouts. But if you actually go to
share the
the
screen,
class,
Diana. Share the screen.
oh, I thought I was. I'm sorry. I thought I was sharing my screen. Thanks for telling me that. So then if you go to the class handouts, right? Then under the Zoom class recordings, right? I have how to access the links, but the problem for you is how to get here. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to put it right now in the chat. Okay. So in the chat of this class, I'm putting a link. Click on that link right now, right now. Don't hesitate. I'm going to stop my share so you all can find that link. Click on it. That takes you to the video. Leave that tab open and that save it some way or another. That is the video of how to get to my class
Now to
files.
something new and exciting in the AI.
At first it'll have an ad, and when you're done with the ad, it'll be going, hey guys, here's how you get to that. Okay. So, and then I'll re-email the thing because I was pretty sure I'd emailed it, or maybe I emailed it to, maybe it was in the Mac level 1 or 2 class and you guys are in both. They're saying, yes, you got it because you got it from that class and maybe it wasn't in this class. I don't know. I thought I had sent it. So I don't know how come some of you did and some of you didn't get it, but there you go. Now you have the link. If you haven't yet, click on that link, you guys, keep it as a separate tab. And that's the description. I will
Implementations at the door.
I will, now I'm feeling like I need to send it again. Maybe I didn't name it the right way. I don't know, but I'm gonna send it again.
How are you doing?
All right,
The
there
reason
you
you
go.
this video is because I have asked you.
There you go. That's me telling you that this is how you get to to my class files. Okay, and then I show you step by step how to get to them. But yeah, there's a possibility that I might have sent it to the wrong group of names. So if so, I apologize. And right now, I am creating a new email, which is for sure, because I just opened the EEM. I just opened the roster for this class. And Fujia, you're in the class. And it's in your pipeline. You don't have a personal email registered for me. So you would have gotten in your pipeline email. Okay.
I got it.
Oh, you
That's
found it now?
good. Yeah.
Oh, good. you found it. So it's there.
Thank you.
Just didn't find it.
Hey,
Good.
everyone, how are you doing?
You can turn me off. I'm here in
Yes, I am turning off.
links. Okay, I don't, if you got it, then I'll send it again later for everyone, but I don't want to do it now. But I was concerned because I couldn't find it in my sent either. So I thought, okay, maybe I didn't send it, but if you found it, you found it. All right. It's really important that you guys, I don't want to not keep repeating things. On the one hand, if it's a quick reminder, but I can't reteach it was the point I was trying to make. So I wasn't trying to say, oh, Fujie, your question I've already answered. Rather, if it's a quick answer, I'm happy to review it. Just like right now, I was happy to review how to get to the recordings because that's crucial. But to start explaining all those features on the phone would take an extra 25 minutes that I've already
I
spent.
don't,
Does that make sense? So
You know,
anyway,
I thought that I am not that slow, but I guess I'm very slow.
No,
because
you
a
might
lot of
have-
times I don't get it.
sometimes you come in late or you leave early. Everyone,
There
not
is a
you,
reason.
not you, right?
I'm not saying
Everyone. No, I'm not complaining that you come in late or early. All I'm saying is that if you miss a portion of the class, write down in your memory, like I missed the beginning of today, and then go watch the beginning of today, right? Or I missed the last part of last week, then go watch the last part of last week.
Yeah.
Because I do teach things that you might have missed, not that you don't remember, you just missed that portion of the class, that's all. Anyway, so I'm showing you this really quickly anyway, because there is one thing I'm going to teach you today though, where the live feature is important. So these things, which is the original part of the question, and I segued to make sure that you do have the handouts and that you do know how to get to the recordings. This feature right there, on or off, turns on the live phone, live camera, live photo, right? So I'm going to show you something about that right now on my computer, which is why I am telling you, what does this mean? If you have this on off, you're taking a picture, that's just a picture. Boom. I just took a picture of my keyboard. If this is on, I'm going to put my finger there to turn it on. Then, and I'm going to take a picture and I'm kind of moving my mouse because I'm not being very still. And there we go. That was the picture that I just took. What I end up having when I go look at my photos is a live photo, right? So now a live photo. And when I click on that live to see that, I can say, well, show me that bounce, go back and forth. So now it's going to animate this and it's going back and forth because the live photo is actually a video and it's just doing it again and again and again, or I can loop it so it goes back and forth, right? That is what a live photo means versus when I took the picture, the one that I took before this is just a photo. It doesn't say live. So there's nothing I can do. I can't move it. It's just a picture. Now, since it's a video, this live photo takes up much more space because it's a video. That's the bad news. The good news is since it's a video, when you edit it, it's a video that you're editing. So I'm going to go in my phone again, and you guys can do it on your computer. If you have any live photos that say live, I'm going to hit the edit and it can be edited as a video. Actually, interesting. On my phone, and my computer, I can edit as a video. How about here? The live version of it. By the way, and if I don't want it to be live, I just turn it off, right? And then I don't see it moving. But on the computer, I can edit it as a video. But it would seem that not on my phone. So there you go. I'm getting to, is this the limitations? Let me see if I can edit a video. Now I'm curious, can I not edit videos on my phone? I'm going to get an actual video that I know is a video. And if I edit it, yeah, see, that's how I edit videos. I can go through the different features. So I guess the live photos do not show up as on the phone as editable as a video. All right. So basically, all that matters right now is those of you who, on purpose or by mistake, have taken a photo with this little yellow thing turned on, you are taking 1 second videos. I think it's 1 second or 2 second videos. Okay. And so you should turn it off if you don't want that feature. And then you should turn off the flash if you don't want to flash, and you should turn on the flash if you want to flash. So that's what those things were. I did spend a lot more time in the settings about how to turn this on and off in the recording. So I'm not going to do that right now, but I am going to stop this share because now I'm going to show you on the computer. So now I'm sharing the computer for you. Let me share my computer screen. Give me a second. I need to complete this so that I feel like I've completed the thought. So here I am when I'm in my computer now, okay, not the phone. I need to, some people kind of get confused what I'm showing. I'm showing you my computer under media types. If you have it closed, expand it. And there are my live photos, okay? And if I have anything that's a live photo, when I go edit a photo, that's a live photo. So I'm going to go and edit this one, for example, that's a live photo. Remember, hit the space bar and then hit edit. Then not only do I have the possibilities of changing color, making it more or less yellow, making it black and white. I have all the same features that I showed you before. I can expose it more later. But on top of that, down here, this shows up as a video. And I can choose what I want to do with this video, or I can turn it into a little animation. So I can go ahead and loop, and this is what was happening during that video. There you go. So it's weird. This is actually the 1 second that I was showing the moment, I guess he is stretching out his hand and he took this picture. Okay, so that I can say, okay, I want to show it that way or not. And those are all the frames that I shot, and I can look and see, well, I like that one better, or this one better, or this one, but oh, no, not this one because his eyes are closed. How about this one? Everyone's eyes are open. Okay, that's the one that I want. I'll make that one the key photo, and that's the photo. Okay, that's what this is. All right.
Just like right now, Deanna, we have to go and pick a video because it's not right in front of us. So we can really find out, how you're doing and how I can do it.
All right, so
you.
Fougier, you dropped out and dropped in again. Do you remember that you just disconnected and connected? You just disconnected, I let you in again.
I
Right
have a
when I was,
frustrating time with the Zoom because it
Got it.
kicked me out. I had
it
to
does,
again.
it does, but when you kind of yell at me, I really feel yelled at, Fougier, that I didn't show you under media
I'm
types.
sorry, I shall out.
When you were disconnected, I showed that under media types, there's how you get to your videos. So try that. Go to media types and go to videos. And I want to apologize for how I'm reacting. I'm really sensitive today. I'm sorry. My son is leaving tomorrow and I am kind of in a bad space. So I'm sorry, Fougier, that I just said that.
I'm sorry,
But I'm
Jill.
not in a good space. Okay.
Dear.
So I don't want to talk about it anymore, but I'm really, really stressed right now. Okay, so I felt yelled at. You probably didn't yell, but it was just me. Okay, so enough. I apologize if I hurt you by saying that. Okay, let's continue because I want to forget that my son is leaving tonight. Today we're driving to Berkeley, and then I'm going to say goodbye to him, and I'm really, really stressed about it. It's great. It's a wonderful thing that he's going to Berkeley, but it really, really, in my heart, it's really happy and really sad at the same time, right? So yeah, I'm not being as patient as usual. I apologize. Okay. Yes, next question. Mary.
It's break time.
Is it break time?
Yeah, it's fine to take a break, Deanna.
Might be a good time
Honestly,
to
we all
sit-
sympathize with you.
It's
Really.
a good time to take a break. Okay,
Yeah.
let's call for break. What time is it?
2:35.
2:35. Could someone figure out 15 minutes for me, please?
2:49, 2:49.
50.
2:49 p.m. All right, see you guys in 15.
Thank you.
All right. Hi, guys. Okay. Everyone, please check your emails because I just sent the link again for how to get to the handouts in case someone missed it. All right, Mary.
Oh, tell me if you've already said this, but when you're picking camera formats in the settings, there's the two choices for camera capture, either high efficiency or most compatible.
Yeah.
Did you have a recommendation for which one of those we should choose?
Yeah, interestingly enough, that's forever. I keep saying all cameras shoot as JPEGs, and I kind of many times say JPEG, 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 but there's an exception. The iPhone, as of 3 years ago, it's relatively new, began saving their photos in a new format called HEIC.
Mhm.
And it's compresses even more. It's more, JPEG is a compression that is called a lossy compression, which again, this is kind of technical, but it loses quality, right? So Apple, just iPhones, came up with a new format called HEIC, and I don't remember what it stands for, high efficiency,
Yeah.
high efficiency something. And it makes the photos smaller than a JPEG, but without losing quality. So when you choose one or the other, you're asking it to save only as JPEG or as HEIC. Now, people worry about the HEIC. At first, it was a little bit weird because only Apple was using it, but now it's been long enough that all other applications accept HEICs as much as they would accept JPEG, Word, of all the Adobe programs, everything. So it's become a norm because, you know, Apple is so pervasive. So it's okay if you save them as HEIC. That said, if you share it as a text to someone, it'll appear as a JPEG to the other person because they assume the other person can't read HEICs. So it's kind of internal. And the moment you share that photo out, it converts itself already to a JPEG. So it's just a way to get more stuff. So to say in at the same time, that's really all it is. Okay.
Okay.
So
Deanna,
yeah,
it means high efficiency image container.
there we go. High efficiency image container. It's a thing that holds your photo in a highly efficient way. All right. Got it. Thanks for that. I'm not that good with acronyms. I'm like, I know what they do. I don't know always exactly what they say. All right, Yolanda.
Yeah. Interesting enough is that the same question that Mary posed on you is the same question I have, because when you were saying go to format, I was slow in getting there, and I saw that the high efficiency is already checked. My question actually relates to RAW, so I can get away from the RAW and conserve. When you said
So if you don't want RAW,
the 25 pictures, and I don't want that. So am I on the right spot that the high efficiency should be checked?
yeah. Well, if you can check it or not. The default, I don't want, what's the default setting? Is it checked or not checked in the default setting? I don't know what the default is. And since I haven't changed that, probably whatever my settings are the default. Let me check. And high efficiency, yeah, high
Could you share the
efficiency.
screen when you check so we can check too?
Not right now. High efficiency is the one that is actually default checked, and that gives you HEIC. Most compatible would show JPEG, okay? Which is most compatible because the entire world uses JPEG. Underneath that, if you have RAW on or off, if you don't want it, just turn it off. It's like green or not green. The reason I'm not sharing, let me explain, is that this phone that has the RAW is not connected to my computer, and I don't want to reconnect it. And in the phone that I have to share, I don't have these features. All right. All right. So under high efficiency and most compatible, do you see something that says RAW, Yolanda?
No, there is
Then
nothing.
if that's not there, then your phone can't do it.
Oh, I see.
That's all.
Okay.
then you don't have to worry about it.
Worry about the raw. In other words, I will
No.
not see raw.
If your
Okay.
phone doesn't, if you don't see under high efficiency and compatible, if you don't see raw, then yeah, you can't do it. No problem.
Right.
Just forget about raw and ignore it. And the day you buy a phone that can do it, then make sure to leave it off unless you want it. All
Okay.
right. It'll never come on as the default option because it takes up so much space. So it would be something you would need to go and turn on if you have it and if you want it. So
Got it.
don't worry about it. Rod.
Same question as before, except on my camera. I've got a shot of my grandson and I'm trying to touch on him with my finger and I'm not getting that isolation electronic looking thing that you showed.
What phone do you have? That's all I can think
A
of.
real new one. It's only
The
about
real new one.
4 months old.
Okay,
6 months
so
old.
maybe I can find a video of someone demonstrating because all I can do is I put my finger on it and hold it down. And since you can't see my, I can't share that. I can put myself again in front of a photo.
Okay, quick question. Do you have
hold
to?
on. I'm going to do this again in, I'm going to take a photo. So can you, let me spotlight my, because this is not something that can be, so now I'm putting this in front of the camera, right? Can you see it a little bit?
Yes.
Okay, I'm
definitely.
gonna do my best. Now, if I'm gonna do that. So when I choose this photo, right? Hold on. I need to, when I do this, I put my finger on this and I just press a little bit harder.
Yeah, I
And then
saw it.
it
Yeah.
happened. That's it. It's like, I can't show it much because that's all it is. Click and it gives it to me. And if I don't move it, I just click, then it goes and it starts doing this thing where it just kind of stays in that mode and it gives me a choice to share or copy. That's it. And
It's
so all
not doing
I
it,
did is
so-
click and hold down. That's all I'm doing. So I don't know how else to explain
Okay,
it.
thank you.
Yeah, it's put a finger and hold it down for a little bit. If it's not working, that's the limits of how I can show you that one. Keep practicing or do a research and see if there's a YouTube video, how to use the, I don't know what it's called, masking feature of the iPhone. I'm not really sure what feature it's got a name, but I don't know, like the cutting out an image feature.
To do it on the screen like you did, right? On that cell phone screen itself.
It's only for the cell phone, right? And this isn't something I can share. That's why I'm showing it here. You have to just on the cell phone screen, press and hold, and then that little thing happens. I can't show any better than that because it's not a software. It's not on the computer. It's only on your phone. And you to see me doing it is just that I'm pressing and there it is. It's doing it. It's kind of automatic. I don't know if it doesn't happen. Maybe, I don't know if maybe it's a feature you can turn off. I don't know about that.
You have to turn on the edit first.
No, you don't.
You don't?
No, it's just a feature of the photo. That's it. All right, guys, it's not in the camera. It's in the photos. So, sorry, it's not something, it's not a feature of your camera. So it's not like when you're taking a picture, it's a feature of the Photos app, okay? That when you go to a photo in the Photos app and you click and hold, then it does that little thing. So, and you don't have to edit, you don't have to anything. You just click and hold, you push and hold because it's a fingers, no click. All right, enough with this because we've spent a lot of time in that and I want to teach you how to actually edit videos on your computer and then you can do that again in the phone, right? In whichever way you can. So first of all, head over here in the sidebar to media types. When you open media types, click on videos. Now, any video that you have on your computer will be showing, okay? So now, when you have this available, when you want to edit one of these videos for any reason whatsoever, first of all, I want to show you something about videos. The right way to take videos all our lives has been sideways, right? I mean, since when have you seen a video, a movie that isn't sideways, a TV, a film, and you press on this, and that's how a video normally would have been taken. Well, lo and behold, 99% of people now shoot their videos in this format, right? Like this with the phone standing up, right? I don't know how to explain it, the portrait. So when you go to your videos, most of you guys probably take videos this way now. And it's kind of harder to flip it sideways unless you're thinking that you're shooting for a movie. Most of the times it's not. So be careful, because the day you want to put this one together with that one, because this is a cute one, this is a cute one, the formats are not compatible. You know what I mean? You're going to see the big one and a little tiny one in there. So either always shoot this way or always shoot that way, choose one. But when you go back and forth, it, as individual videos, it doesn't matter. Now, the reason this is good is because if you shoot a picture that you want to say, so I'm selecting, how do I do? I select and I hit the space bar just like before. And then I get the option to play it. And if what you're trying to say is, whoa, look at the passion fruit that I just harvested. This one is ready to go to share to social media, because most people are in social media looking at their phone this way. And so the video plays correctly. And so this is really the format for social media, not so for movies, right? Because in the movies, we still go to the movies. We still look at things in
Horizontal.
For some reason, my video stopped playing. Uh-oh. I froze. My computer froze. Uh-oh. I can't even quit. Let me open it again. I don't know why my thing just froze. How about now? Okay, it's working again. I'll reshare. I don't know what happened there, but there you go. Okay, so when I want to edit a video, just like we did with photos, I can select the video and hit the spacebar. And when I do that, this little play turns on. Now I want to show you, because this might be a little bit different in my VDI, in my Ventura. No, I need to compare, because there are some differences in Ventura and after, but no, this part is identical. So then I press play and I can see it. Now, where this is a little bit different is for anything, I'm in Monterey right now. So if you're in Monterey or Ventura, this is the same. And I believe that by the time you go down to High Sierra, it's different, or Catalina. Already in Catalina, it changes. The video editing for Catalina is a little bit different, but I don't have a Catalina sample. So if you don't see what I am seeing and you have Catalina or High Sierra, when I'm done sharing, share your screen and I'll show you how it is done in those, because I don't have that possibility to share here anymore. But there's something here on High Sierra that allows you to edit. So for the rest of us who have for sure Monterey and Ventura, and I believe even before Monterey, I'm not sure, then we're going to hit the edit right there. And so now let me play the entire video. Well, let me just, actually, I'm going to say done to start with. 1 second, because I want to show you that this is a clip that is a 14-second long clip. Okay. And right now, if I just press play, it will play for 14 seconds, right? And if I want to stop it, I'll do pause. If I want to play again, I'll do play. But what if I just want to see the last few seconds? Well, I can click over here and it moves over to the last 2 seconds, which I guess on the last 2 seconds, I have nothing. Let me see. Oh yeah, it looks like my phone fell down. So that's my last 2 seconds have nothing. So perfect example of something that I might want to clip, right? So, and I can also grab this thing and I can just drag it really quickly and move it back and forth until I find the spot I want. And over here, what I find is that the last part of this, my phone fell because I used two of my hands to do this, and I had my phone propped up on something, and it fell over. Boom. So this is the kind of video where I don't need this last part, do I? So I have good video up until about here. So there is when it starts going bad. Then so I can stop it right here, right before it starts going bad. And that means that I have to 10 seconds that are good and 4 seconds that are bad. So this is an example of a video that I might want to just get rid of those last 4 seconds. If I want to send this video to social media, I wouldn't want those last 4 seconds, would I? Does that make sense?
Mhm.
And you guys might have the other way. You have a whole minute long video and you really only want the 20 seconds from the middle and the whole beginning and after. You should have stopped filming sooner, kind of thing, right? Most of the time, the issues with videos is that they're too long. I'm going to head back to videos here and notice that the timing for each one of these is there. This one is 12 seconds, 19 seconds, 13 seconds, 27 seconds, 14 seconds, 4 seconds, 30 seconds. Now, when you start going 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minute videos, you're using up a lot of space on your phone to get these videos stored, okay? Not only on your phone, but also on your computer if you're working on them on your computer. So consider that if you needed 30 seconds, because it's a song, okay, so I'm going to do that. And when I play it, it's, I'm going to go over here. I just wanted to do this and this, so I needed the whole 30 seconds of that. That's fine. But other than that, again, the I do and the wedding, yeah, capture it all. But for the most part, try to shoot shorter, right? Okay, so now I'm going to edit this video to cut it, not necessarily to make it prettier or less pretty, which I can do it too, but just to cut it down a little bit. So I'm going to hit the edit, and yes, I can make it darker, lighter, all the stuff that we had before. I can do all of that to make it better, but that's not the kind of editing I'm talking about. It's getting rid of what I don't want. And I can, on the photos, I can get rid of at the beginning and at the end of stuff, not necessarily in the middle. So let me show you. In this mode, I can press play again right here. And this is where it's different on older than, I believe, Catalina. So I press play and there it is. The video is showing again, right? Now, if I don't want to just sit through the entire 14 seconds, I can actually, again, go from here to here, right? And move it faster. So here's where it went bad. And here it's actually black because it fell to the floor. I picked it up and then I turned it off. So I have all of this that I don't want. So I can go to the end, right? And see, that's where when it starts falling, I don't want it anymore. So I stop right before I don't want it, right there. And now I'm going to grab this little thing right there, this little triangle, and I'm going to drag it in and take it to 10.12. I'm looking at it and there, that's when the phone starts falling. I'm going to stop it right there. So I have effectively not, I don't need to see this now. If I play this video now, it will stop right there. And ding, right? That's where it stops. So that bad part is not part of the video anymore. So I've cut off a whole chunk. Now I'm going to go to the very beginning and I wonder if I need the whole beginning. So I do like that and I'm grabbing it. And maybe all I wanted to show was this. I didn't want the whole grab, right? So maybe what I want to show is, let me see. This from when I put in the spoon. So that means I don't want the whole beginning, right? So I look over here, so it's about 398. So I grab from the beginning, from this little arrow, and I start dragging it in, dragging it in, dragging it in, and there. Good. So now I've cut out a chunk in the front, cut out a chunk in the back. Let's play and see what I have. That's it. Just the goop. And it's over. Okay, so play. Just taking it out. So I've taken out all of this and all of this. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I'm making it be only the piece that I want to show, right? If so, and if I'm happy with that, then I can go ahead and say done. And I'm going to be given two choices. And this is what's cool and new, because before, let me say cancel for a minute. Before Monterey, you couldn't do anything more than this, meaning you were still stuck with the entire clip you could just do this and show only a part of it, but you still had the entire clip in your computer. Does that make sense? As of, I believe Monterey, that's why anyone who has Catalina tell me, but I think in Catalina it wasn't right. And this is, I think this is a Monterey thing, and I might be wrong. Maybe it was a Catalina, but not earlier than that. Now, when I say done, I get two choices. Do I want to save this as is? Or do I want to save this video as a new clip? Let me go first for save video. I'm going to show you what happens if I say save video, which is a safe choice, right? So I'm going to just say save video. And now when I hover over this video, it's only a 6-minute video. I'm going to back out and see it's only a 6-minute video. I have effectively cut out, it was a 14-minute second, I say minute, second video, and now I've cut out a bunch from the front and bunch of the back, and now it's a 6-second video. What if I say, I really didn't want this to be it, let me edit that again? Well, guess what? All the pieces are still there. Maybe I do want to show the whole approach. So by saying save, you are basically able to continue to access the front and the end. So this entire video clip worth 14 seconds is still there. It's kind of like all you did is hide the beginning and the end. Does that make sense? Now, if instead what you do when you say done is save video as new clip. So now I'm going to save video as new clip. And this is what you couldn't do a couple of versions ago. Save video as new clip. Good. Nothing seems very different. When I back out, I have 2 of these now. And it has the same file name, right? So what's the difference between this one and this one? Well, the new one doesn't have all this stuff that I cut out. So when I go to edit this one, that's all it is. I cannot, it's only 6 seconds video. That's it. I don't have the beginning and the end. Now, you have to be careful with this, because if the beginning and the end was truly useless like this, then that's good. I can go to the original one and throw it away. Boop, delete. But sometimes you're not sure you want to delete the full 14 seconds. So you keep both. And now what you're doing is you have not only 14 seconds, but you've added to your computer an extra 6 seconds. Yeah. So now you have 20 seconds of that video. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So if you're not going to want to delete what's behind and forward, just don't bother saving a new video. Just keep the long one, because next time you might want to show it from the beginning or from the end, whatever it might be. But if truly it was junk like this one, because truly what it had was junk, it was falling over, and then save the short one and then just delete the old one. And then you're left, instead of with 14 seconds of good and junk, you're left with only 6 seconds of good. Does that make sense? Yes. I just want to caution people to not always leave both, because you are actually adding to your computer. Now, how do I distinguish which is the one that's bigger or smaller, right? And so here we go. Here's my info. And the biggest difference is in file size, right? So this one, which is now my short one, plus it happened here in August 2nd, I created it. It's 6.7 megabytes versus the old one is 12.2 megabytes. Okay. It's much bigger. So if I don't know, then that's a way to know that this one is bigger than that one is smaller. Okay. So that's all you need to know. And then you go, okay, this is the bigger one. I don't need this one anymore. Right click, delete. Now, if I delete it, it says, whoa, this will be deleted from iCloud Photos on all your devices. So that means I won't find this long one on my phone either, nor up in the cloud, nor anywhere. It's truly gone. And what I'm left with is only the short version. But for a month, I can still go back to recently deleted and retrieve it. I'm like, oh, I didn't mean to throw it. So I have 29 days to say, oh, I didn't want to do that. I want to recover. Like I select it and I want to recover that one. And when I go back to my videos, there it is. I have both my versions. Now, I recommend that if you keep 2 versions of something, instead of just making it like I have to look at the file size, why don't you just change the file name, right? So over here, I can add a title to it, for example, over here, or I can click on this right here and add a title and say short version, for example, right? And so I know that that's the original one. But if I say short version, it's short version of what, right? So sometimes it's better to leave the original name on it and then just say V2 or V3, which would mean version 1, version 2, version 3. But anyway, so this is the short version, or I can be specific, short version so short version of, and then I put the name of the other one, img_0041.mov, right? So now when I hit return, this is the entire name of this one, right? Which is the short version of this one. So you can be as explicit as you want.
Yeah.
Or one last thing, this one's the short one, and this one, you edit it again, edit again, and now you pull this open and pull this open, and your long version, right now, you basically undid your cuts, and this one says 14 again, and this one says 6. So now you know clearly this is your long one and this is your short one. Because if there's a reason to keep it, you don't want it cut out, just throw it all out again. So I'm going to repeat this because I went really quickly. How do you make things shorter? At first, you don't have yellow. You have 2 gray lines. When you're ready to move it in from the front, you click and drag, and that's when the yellow appears. And you move it into where you want. Then the other one is already yellow. If you start from the back, it's gray, and you click and drag from here, and then it turns into yellow. And that is how you do the editing. Okay. All right. Now, I've explained it a few times. Do it yourselves. And meanwhile, I'm open for questions. Yeah. Terry.
Oh, thanks, Diana. I know probably most of us have like thousands of pictures. So I know what I do is when I've edited something, I put the original date the image was taken or the video was taken, and then I use the letter C just for my own purposes that I know I've already edited that particular image or video. But I wanted to ask you, your video is a perfect example of, space at the bottom and space at the top. Can you crop the video as well?
Yes.
Because I did try that myself, and I think I did it, but I don't remember now how I did
actually,
it.
great question, because at the end of the day last week, I showed the crop feature, which I hadn't shown, and some people had already left, and it was like, oh, sorry, I ran out of time to show the crop feature. So in the photos editing, so let me show you the crop feature in the video. And yes, this is different in Monterey than in Ventura. So I'm going to show it first in Monterey. Here we go. The crop feature. So I'm going to hit edit, right? And the crop feature in the older than Ventura version, when I hit crop, I get this tool. So adjust is all the light, color, but up here, crop gets me to the features to crop. Okay. And now say that I am, see how I have like a piece of, I was propping it against my stomach here, and then I moved and it fell over. So it's kind of got a piece of my sleeve in here. So maybe I want to crop this out, so you don't see that. Maybe by then it's too long and thin, so maybe I want to crop the bottom out, or maybe I want to leave the table, but I want to crop the living room out or whatever, right? So then I end up with this much. So I have cropped it as much as I would have cropped a photograph. The only danger is whether your image moves off camera a little bit, right? Because it's moving. So if your phone isn't still and you're cropping something and then you're moving your camera around, you got to be careful that your image works. Then if I want to straighten it, then I go this way up and down. I'm going to show this in Ventura, you guys, because in Ventura it's a bit different, but I'm showing you how it was before. So you use this to straighten it. If perchance you have something very clearly that was crooked, like this door, I know it's a door, and it was, you can use that to straighten. And if it doesn't have to be straightened, it doesn't have to be straightened. So when I say done, now I have cropped my video and I check. Oh, and I'm not seeing that much of a spoon, but it's still good. So when you crop, you're in danger of, if I didn't get rid of anything important, then that's good. If I think maybe I got rid of too much, I can edit it again, crop again, and this time just bring it out a little bit more because I lost a bit too much of the spoon. There you go. So it's always completely editable. I can continue to edit it, and then I can say, oh, there we go. That's the good one. And now when I compare, see how this one was showing a bunch more and this one is a close-up, okay? And that, so yes, cropping is possible. Now I am going to stop and share this on the Ventura because cropping is different in Ventura, okay? So now I am going to share my Ventura. And in Ventura, here we go. In Ventura, when I go to videos, hold on, because now things are hiding from me for a minute. There you go. When I'm on my laptop, things get much more hidden from me and I have to see it. So next, so let me grab any, so by the way, my short version, there's my long version and there's my, no, that's a different long version and short version. This is the one, 441, hasn't arrived yet because this is a video. And remember, videos are really big. So I did it in one computer. That information still has to go up to the cloud and down into this computer. And though a photo might come in quickly, the cropped version that I made is going to take much longer to transfer. Does that make sense? So that's why I'm not seeing it on this computer. But never mind, I'll use another video. I'll use this one. And if I want to see it play, I'll hit spacebar and this part is the same. It shows me my entire, video and that's my entire thing. And oops, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry about that. How do I undo? I was not trying to do that. There we go. So I'm going to hit edit right here. So now here's my entire video. And again, I can bring it in or edit. So this is all the same, no difference. I'm cutting front and back. I don't know in this one what it needs. I'm just showing you. But if I go to the crop feature is very different. So very, very different. So at this point, the cropping in is the same. I can make it bigger or smaller, and I'm going to make it be much thinner. I don't know, it's extreme, but just so you guys can see that I'm really doing a crop. And then if I want to straighten it, this is what's changed. That whole wheel that I have here, I don't have that. Now I have a version to straighten vertical or horizontal. So this is really cool when you have buildings. I'm going to see if I have a video with a building and you'll see. But if I need to straighten it because it was crooked, then I do this or this. Now I'm going to try to find one that's crooked to show you this feature. So let me actually revert to original and say done. And let me see if I have a video where you can really, oh, well, there you go. This has lines, so maybe this will help me. I'm going to use this one, and this is a 7-second one. And I hit edit and crop. So you see how the lines, because of the perspective, it's kind of not straight. Let me see if I can, using my vertical and horizontal fix, this is what we didn't have before, straighten the lines of this. This is a little library in front of my house. So now I can change this. So see how that is looking a little bit less distorted now. And then I'm going to go to horizontal and straighten the line a little bit. And I'm going to move this. And then maybe by the time I'm done with all these changes, this is looking a bit more square if it's supposed to be square. This is a curvy roof, so that's it. But this is a bit more square than it does before. I'm going to show you the before and after. That, or no, it doesn't do me the before and after of crop, huh? It's interesting. Okay. So I'm going to say done. And this is the before and after. Oh, it's a video. It didn't give me a chance to save another version. That's interesting. But anyway, this is how it is now, where these lines are straight. And if you remember that, now I'm going to immediately say revert. And boom, see how it was kind of distorted. So you have to be careful though with this, because in a video, I don't know how it'll play to have the whole thing change, right? It might work or not. So here's my video. And since I'm not moving up differently, it might be that I fixed the front, but not the back. I'm going to try that again. I'm going to distort, I'm going to just do this to make this at the beginning seem straighter. And then maybe move it over there and then maybe straighten it a bit or something like that. So my first frame looks good. I'm going to say done. But when I play it again, I don't know what this correction will do to the bottom part of this video. So let me say. It's okay. It kind of still works. So I haven't messed it up too much. Okay. So that helped. So that's the new thing that you can do. You can straighten. And sometimes it's very, I'm going to revert to original. Sometimes it's very obvious. Sometimes you have a photo that you've taken and everything is really skewed. And so this becomes like a cool feature, but that's the only extra thing. Or let me go to this one. It's very simple. This is supposed to stand straight. I assure you this stands straight. This is me taking a video in a crooked way. See? And it looks like I straightened out in the middle a little bit there. So that helps. The problem is that I was crooked at the beginning and not at the end. So if I go to the beginning and straighten for this, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to crop and I'm going to straighten this so that my video doesn't look wrong. Well, this gets, this feature doesn't just change the beginning. When I say done, this is for everything. So now when you start this video, it looks straight. But let me see when I approach, and the end my approach is crooked, see? Because I fixed the front, but now this whole part is looking crooked. So it's a bit of one, you have to choose. Now, if this were truly a video that I'm putting together, then I could just cut this in half and use only the first part that's corrected and then duplicate it and then use only some good part that doesn't have the correction, and that would take care of it, right? But anyway, so that's just showing you how you do the straightening and vertical. That's the only thing. And then I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. But first, let me take questions. Yes, Terry.
Just an additional question regarding that vertical and horizontal orientation. If you do have a video that's horizontal and you need to probably move it into video, can you also use those same adjustments to turn it to 180 degrees?
Yes and no. Yes and no. No, I mean, the big answer is no, but let me explain why I'm saying yes or no.
Okay.
If you shot something from very far off in horizontal, right, and you wanted it to be vertical, you would have to crop off this much and show only this bit of it. So say that this, again, is the one that I want to convert into the other format. I'm going to hit edit and I'm going to go to crop. So I can change the aspect ratio. That's what I said I was going to answer in a bit. And then you ask your question and I'm going to continue then with what I was saying. I could go over here and I can make it 16:9 is typical film ratio. What if instead I make it 5:7 vertical? So there you go. I've chosen a few other choices, but so I'm going to say done to that, right? So maybe this might be able to be vertical right now, but when I say play, I don't know if it's going to work because I might, oh, see, it's like I've cropped up a bunch of it. It kind of lost. Is this the same one? No, maybe this is a different one and this was a shorter one. Oh, it was that one that I had approached. That's why this was already a shorter one. So let me get rid of the vert original on this one. So this was already a 4-second one. This is the one that I had approached. Okay, so this one is 13 seconds. If I edit this one and crop it to fit a different format, and then when I'm done and I try to play it, then let's see what happens. I'm approaching. It might work because it's centered. It kind of still works because I've cropped all the other side, but it's kind of skewed sideways. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But in this case, for this video, it kind of worked. And now you have a vertical one. I'm going to revert it back to the original, but you cropped all of this and all of this, and you were just focusing on that. As long as this is central, this works. Now, had this been on the side, then it wouldn't have worked, right? Because I would have cropped out the thing that I need. So it depends on your video. On the other hand, so that is cropping stuff off from the sides. on the other hand, if what I want to crop off is make this one into a horizontal one, and thus I edit that, and I want to turn this one into a horizontal one, right? Then again, let me go to the ratio for film is 16:9, right? Horizontal. And so now you're left with so little of your video, okay? It's like, that's how it was. And in order to get this 16:9, I'm left with so little, and I can move it a little bit and hope that this works. But let me see. Oh, looks like all the action is happening down here, right? Like it's not. Yeah, I'm not seeing the action. Oh, that fell again. So I'm not seeing the action. So I would have to go back to the crop and then crop it differently, like move this there and then say done again. And then let's see now. Is that better? Come on. No. Oh, it looks like it's frozen. Okay. Anyway, so it becomes much harder. So basically you'd have to spend hours making sure that you got the right, that whatever the action was for this video, that you can still see it. So if the action was me approaching and cutting it, then I need to crop that much to be a vertical video, right? Is it doable? Yes. That's why I said yes and no. Is it ideal? No. But hey, it's doable. Okay. So there you go.
Thank you.
Great. Now, okay. Any other? I don't see any hands up. Oh, Rod. By the way, I'm answering questions because what I'm thinking you're doing in the background is you're editing videos, right? So place. But let me just show you here. I'm showing you the new and different, but don't forget that you can still edit light. So this is a little video I have, and I'm going to edit that is a little bit dark, right? So I'm going to go ahead and start from the beginning and press play. And it's my littlest guy. The first and probably only time that he was on a snowboard, and hey, he's my Olympic hero. And down he went. But at the beginning, it was very dark, remember? So at the end, the light is fine. So you're kind of torn on this one, because if I go ahead and go to the front and lighten this up, which I can, I'll go to the exposure and I'll make it lighter so that the snow, see from there that it was, I make it lighter so that the snow looks lighter, right? And my shadows lighten up. And so it's like, oh, that looks great. This correction gets applied to the entire video. And that's the part that you need to be aware of, because now it's looking good. But then it goes down to slow-mo. When I approach the area where there's a lot of light, as we're moving to the other side here, see how now this side is overexposed? Because, so if you hit a happy medium, it's still not bad. It still looks like snow. And in this case, here it's looking washed out. But if you prefer that, than to having this look really dark like it used to be, then fine, then do it. But just know that your corrections apply to the entire strip. So if you move from dark to light, keep that in mind. But if the whole thing is missing color or whatever you want, then yeah, you can do that and it works. So I'll take a question again, but I just wanted to ask you guys to not only work on cropping and editing, but I mean trimming means making the video shorter or longer. That's what I mean by trimming. Cropping is making the format square or different. So trimming is the length of the video. Cropping is the shape of the video. And then adjusting the light and dark. Go ahead and do that. And then you'll have questions when it is or isn't working. All right. Rod?
Quick question. When I click on my videos, I have 33 of them sitting here. I
Yeah.
can't get any of them when I click on them to give me that play bar.
All right. So why
Press
don't you share your screen? Let me see how I can help you.
It's this right here.
Mhm.
And
1 second. I need to make this much bigger for me to see your detail, because I see it on the
Okay.
other screen. Okay, so you're in a video. Okay, so now hit your space bar. You selected one, hit your space bar. Okay, all right, good. Now go at the very top to the, oh, what version of, what are you in? What version of
I'm in
operating system?
Ventura.
And what? You got broken up. What year in Ventura, you said?
Correct.
Okay, all right. So hit the edit. Cannot start editing. Photos cannot load edits for this video. I'm wondering if it's still up in the cloud and it didn't download. Go ahead and say okay, and let's back out and see first of all how long it is. Hit the escape or done at the very top. It's
29 seconds.
29 seconds. This is from November. Let's turn on the info for it so that I can see at the very, yeah. Get info. And it's November 21. It's the right format and it's 29 seconds. All
My
right.
granddaughter serving a volleyball in a game, and I've certainly watched it before.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not sure why it's not playing.
Okay, I'll call
But,
Apple.
no,
Thank you.
but no, but stop. Try another one to see if it's just this one or if it's all of them. That's what I'm saying. Maybe head over to some other thing and let's see if you hit the space bar, whether you can play that one. Move your mouse over the photo a bit to see if you got the play bar. No. And if you hit edit, so something's wrong.
I get
Oh,
this little,
that's it's downloading from the cloud. If that's happening, it's downloading from the cloud. Right? Because remember you have your stuff in the cloud. So there you go. It downloaded from the cloud. When it finishes downloading, now
now it says done.
yeah, go ahead and say done and open it up again since it didn't download. Let's see now, go back to edit and hit edit again. I'm trying to see if it needed to download, if you gave it time. No.
No. Okay, I'll call Apple.
Yeah, this seems like an Apple question because if it does finish downloading, which it did, or it shows like it did, then what's happening? I don't know, Rod. I don't have the answer. I'm sorry to say. I don't know why
Thanks for
you
trying.
don't get the filter. So can you actually tell me next week what they said? Because I've never
Oh,
experienced
definitely.
this. And I want to
Definitely.
learn from things that are weird. So say done. And yeah, I don't know. You're not seeing their videos played. None of them now, not just the one. And it would seem that it might be because they're in the cloud. And yet when you download it, it still isn't editable. So I don't know. Just
Okay,
call them with
thanks.
that question and find out. Thanks for asking and sorry that I don't have an answer. All right, guys, we have a couple of minutes left. So if you have questions, think about them and raise your hands sooner rather than later. Yes, Fouchier.
She's muted.
Fouchier, you're muted. Yeah.
Yes. I took a video by mistake and I wanted to take a photo. Or I took a video, but only one screen is good. Can you change it to regular photo from video? It's not possible.
Yes, and no, you can. And there's a feature. And let me try to remember because yes, you can. And I don't know if it's different in Ventura or in, I'm going to share in Ventura. This is one of those things that might be different, but I'm going to start with sharing it in Ventura. So say that you meant to take a picture or not even you meant to take a picture. You would like a moment of that photo as a picture. So say this video here, I would like this here when he's in the air. I don't know, like right there. No, none of them are really good. Maybe I want that. Probably if it was in the air, I don't see his face. But anyway, let's say that I want this moment, right? For whatever reason, I want this moment as a photo, right? So there's a file, there is a image. There's a, let me see if you have to edit it first. There's definitely, I've done it before, and I'm trying to remember how. It's because in people, by the way, this used to be easier in the older versions. You could just, you was a little right click that would let you say, take photo of this, right? It was very easy. But right now, it changed. Make, well, that's make poster frame, but that's not the same.
Can't you hit control, shift
Let me
number 4?
export. Control what?
Control shift number 4. Will get
Oh,
you
that's to
your
do a
cursor.
screenshot, but a screenshot is not the same as saving it out. Yes, you can always do a
Oh,
screenshot, but a screenshot might have less resolution because it'll only have the resolution that your screen has. So say that you want to print it, that might not be enough. To just share that moment, yes, but is a screenshot is not the same as all the information that came in your camera. So I'm trying to look for the real version, and I might need to I might need, it might be part of the share. Let me, I'm gonna just have to research it. Add, make poster frame is the one that I choose to have it be the what it shows, but that's not it. Wow, now I need to know because it's totally doable and I don't remember. So let me just quickly search. I'm gonna Google Mac photos of a video, make photo of a video, how to grab a frame from a video in Mac Photos. And that video that I'm seeing is from 2021. I'm looking, I'm doing a research. I'm gonna share the video that came up. How to grab a frame from a video in Mac Photos. I just did a search, right? So then I'll sit here and it's 6 minutes, but it's showing me, I'll jump, edit with. You got a variety of different apps that can edit video. Edit with. That's not it. Hold on, I'll find it. But anyway, if not, I'll find it. And what if when I save it as a file? Okay. Running an app like Photoshop. Create a new document, paste it in there. Use preview. All right, so how did it turn into a? So it does, it is telling you to photo and paste it. You can do that by running. It really basically is saying, give me a sec here. And he's done talking, he'll give me the answer. Create a new document and paste it there. Okay, none of these seem to be the answer. It used to be simple. There's a few steps, there's no direct function. It used to be. So here's methods. I'm going to look into it. You can look into it too. I don't have the answer for that one. I thought it would be a quick answer. That's why I decided to stop and look for it, but it's not a quick answer. There used to be a feature. So anyone who has High Sierra or older, you can actually make a little photo out of your video. There's much less you can do, but you can do that. So yeah, sorry. Now, the last thing I want to show you guys is how to import new photos from your computer. So now this is a little bit of a combination of, it's a little bit of a combination of file management, right? So for those of you who've been taking my file management classes, I've told you to any photos that are kind of lost somewhere on your computer, I've said, put them all in a folder called photos. And so if you have photos all over the place, you would have to do this one by one. But I went ahead and told my computer that I want, during the photos, during the organizing files class, I created a folder in any photos that I found loose in my computer. I put them all under this thing and I call them loose pictures. So now all photos that are loose on my computer somewhere are under one big thing. Now, say that I had one only that I want to bring in here, just one, right? Loose that I found somewhere, maybe in my downloads. Do I have a loose photo in here? I think I was pretty good at maybe I have this here. Here's a screenshot. A screenshot is a photo. This would work. So say that I want to bring in this screenshot into the Photos app, right? One quick way, and this is, I'm going to be in my library mode here and I'm looking at photos and I go, oh, on the side, I found this photo. I can just drag it in, boom, like that. Boom, that's it. It got imported on August 2nd at 3:44. By the way, there's only 1 minute left of class, so I'm going to run through this. And there it is, that imported it. So by that same token, I could very simply go to where my photos are, select them all, and import it, right? I can grab this whole folder, drop it in here, and they're going to import. So that's the hands-on way. And I'm not going to do it because I want to show you another way. But yes, that's it. I can just drop them in. The second way that's a little bit more, if you don't have them all in a nice little neat side-by-side, way to drag them like I just did, then you go to File, Import. File, Import. And this assumes that you might have them in a different hard drive, or you might have them in a flash drive or something else. Now, I do know that my photos are, I look for them in my documents in the folder loose pictures. So the same as I did before. And then this time, instead of importing them automatically, I'll say review for import. And I get these divided into already imported. So I'm not going to import them again. 11 photos, and ooh, you got 11 new photos. Of all the ones that I just showed it, there's 11 new ones. So it's not going to re-import something I've already brought in here. But of the, these were 38 photos in the loose pictures that I tried to come in, or how many? No, because there's some stuff here that's not importable. Okay, so then it's telling me these are already there, but this are not. So I'm going to say import all new photos only. And that way I avoid duplicates. That said, if I chose a whole file structure that I already put, photos of a wedding, photos of something. So if you have like file structure, you say keep folders, then the folders become albums. So for people who have a lot of organization that you did many years ago, sometimes people sat, I used to, all your photos were organized by files. Then you can import them as folders, and then each folder will become an album. Okay, so just letting you know. So when you say import all new photos, then I go over here to the imports, and there are my new photos under imports. Okay, now one last thing. If I go to my library, I don't see them at the bottom of my library necessarily, because they might pop in at the date in which they were imported, right? So if I head over here to imports, they're all together. And I go to what I imported in August 2nd, import July. So I can keep going up and I can see what I imported July 2nd. So these are all imported photos, June 21st. So if you've done a lot of imports, just dragging it in is considered an import. See, I just dragged this one in earlier today. That was an import, but doing it the whole file import way is also considered an import. And so all of these will show up together because I imported them at the same time. But if I look at the date on this one, it's from July 21, 2011. And this one is from 2022. And this one is from 2023, right? So when I go to library, they won't show up here. I'll have to go to 2011, right, to see the first one, and there it is, right? Isn't this is July 21, 2011. So just be aware that just because you imported them now doesn't mean that you'll see them at the bottom of your library. They will import with the date that they were taken. So in the case of this last import, to see them all at once, I will only see them here. And there's that one that's called Focus No Focus that I imported on August 2nd. But to find it, I have to go to July, in my dates to find it. Does that make sense, you guys?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. And you can you can say file import from, a different computer, like a different hard drive that you might have here. I have different hard drives and I have other information in other hard drives. You can import from wherever you want. So, but you can't import from your messages, for example, right? So say that you want to import from your textbook something. So I'm going to open my texts, right? And when I'm looking at my text and I get a picture from someone, right? So remember, I just made these two little ones, these two little guys in front of you guys. I made these and I texted them to myself. So then if I were to want to save this as a photo in my texts, I can go over here to this little guy and click on it. And it'll say this photo will be added to iCloud Photos and other devices. And I'll go, sure, save, thank you, save. And I'll do that. And on when I go to iCloud and I go to my library for today, I will find it today because this I just created today, see? And it's this little cutout that I just made today. So that's the photo that I just downloaded. I can also right click and add to photos library, but the last thing I'm going to do is share my phone again with you guys and show you how to do that. Because we don't usually use text from our computer. Most of the times we read our texts from our phone, right? So I'm going to go to my phone and I'm going to go my texts, and here are my texts, and here are the photos that I sent to myself today. I sent to myself these two. So if I want to now in my phone, put this in my photos, I can put my finger, I'm putting my finger on it. You can't see, click and hold. And then I keep holding until all of this appears. And then down here, it'll say save, and I'll say save. And that got saved to your Photos app as well. So if I go to my Photos app, then at the bottom of everything, there it is. It just came in. There's my photos that I texted, and it even says who texted it to you. I texted it from me, but if you received it from your friend or whatever, it'll say from whoever it was from. Okay, so that's how you would incorporate a photo from your text down into your. So you just click and hold, and then you say save. Okay, and then that is sending it to your Photos app. And this is where people run into trouble. I remember Mimi has a lot of videos that she's been saving. They ended up in her Photos app, and then those are huge. Like from social media, you can save things also. And then you say a lot of cute little videos, and then they take up a lot of space on your computer, on your phone. So just be careful with saving too much because they're not innocent. If you go see them on the internet, they're on the internet. But once you put them in your phone, they take up that space. All right. Okay. I guess I say I teach new things after the time is over, but it is 7 minutes over and I just taught you something new. So if anyone had to leave early, hopefully they'll come and check the recordings. Remember that when you come late, leave early, or miss a class, watch the recordings. I just sent you again the email with the links for those of you who didn't get it the first time. And that's how you get to the recordings. All right. I will see you next week. I don't know what shape I'll be in because by then I'll be back from having dropped him off, and I might be really happy or I might be an absolute basket case. I don't know, but that's the way life is, right? So
Deanna, whatever
yes,
situation, you will get through it. We will welcome you back. You're a wonderful woman and a fabulous instructor.
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Coming from, as you know, someone who's certified to teach at any community college in California, they don't know it from UC San Diego, but you know it, and you have
Yeah.
done a fabulous job today. So keep smiling.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so
You're
very much.
welcome.
Thank you.
Have a
Bye,
good
you
day.
guys. Thank you. Bye.